Enjoy great deals and the buying experience you deserve. Shopping for a brand new, reliable, full-size truck, Steed Ponte has a huge selection of Silverados on the lot, with more arriving daily. Steed Ponte Chevrolet, your locally owned and operated dealership, Route 28 in Herkimer, or online at SteedPonteChevy.com. See why it's always easy to do business at Steed Ponte Chevrolet.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. With their timeless design and incredible craftsmanship, their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces and new Amish pieces to top designers, Adirondack Home Furniture has what you want. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just need some pieces to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture has that perfect piece. With a fully stocked showroom and the best prices of the season, you need to stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and get your home ready for the holidays. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, and good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Everything running in slow motion today. And we have a lot to get to this morning. It looks like the Republicans are going to capture control of the U.S. House of Representatives. And even Biden yesterday, as he's traveling overseas, confirmed that he felt that was going to be the case. However, the Democrats will hold on to the Senate, and it will be a close margin for Republicans. And who'd have thought that that would be the case, right? Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was expected to be a big victory. Usually the midterms are usually a big victory for the opposing party, and it was not the case this year.
Also, yesterday, former Vice President Mike Pence all over the news with an interview with Syracuse native David Muir. And you saw that all over TV yesterday, right?
Yeah, and then they had a primetime special on at 10 o'clock.
We'll talk to Tanya Powers on what Pence had to say about Donald Trump on January 6th. And there's much that he had to say. It's expected today that the former President Trump will announce, despite the fact that there are many Republicans in government today saying maybe you should hold off, I believe he's going to... Well, I believe. That's what everybody's saying, not as if we know anything. Well, we spoke to some insiders.
Based on the tone of voice.
Yes. We think he's going with it. My read on this is it's expected that today he will make an announcement that he's running for president. The only person that beat him on the announcement was Bob Cardillo. Actually, true. Bob really didn't, because the president is announcing he's running for president in 2024. At least Cardillo announced he's running in 2023. So what do you think?
Well, two things. One, I was corresponding with Jim Zegge yesterday to try to get him on, because I said to him, I'd like to get you on the announcement.
Well, he wouldn't want to come on the show of the great ambusher.
Well, he said that this was his reply. I'm trying to find out myself what's going on. Are you guys going to broadcast it? And I was telling him, Hannity, Kilmeade, or
Yeah, it'd be a national.
Somebody will carry it live. And then he went on about a couple other things. He wouldn't come on, but I'd like to know if he's kind of fading away from the Trump camp, or I didn't say that right, but kind of not all in on Trump running again because it's not working. Do you want to win, or do you want to stand on the side of the road with your signs and your flags?
Well, listen, a lot of things are going to happen in 2 years, right? Here's the thing that I think scares many Republicans, including Pence, and that is if Trump runs, he still has a lot of support within the Republican Party. Whether he can win a general or not is, while extremely important, is irrelevant. Can he win the nomination? And you have Elise Stefanik, who's already endorsed him to run. And her answer, because she was questioned, her answer was, it's really simple. He's the leader of the Republican Party. Of course I endorsed him. That's what Elise Stefanik has to say. But I do believe that if he decided not to run, so it's the egg on the face issue. And no matter where you are in President Trump, this is a guy that doesn't like to lose. And does he lose by coming forward? Does he lose by not coming forward? And I can tell you, this is just my take. It would be far less damaging for him to come forward and start calling people rhinos and, he was even going after DeSantis, right? What does he have to lose by coming forward? He's going to raise a ton of money. He sat on a lot of money during these congressional midterms. He's going to raise a ton of money, and he could always back out. I mean, it's 2022.
I'd love to know if all the people who made contributions to Trump, the Trump organization, his campaign, Friends to Elect Donald Trump, whatever his campaign committee is, that they knew that it wasn't going to be spent for these midterms, and it's going to be spent on a presidential election 2 years from now. We don't even know if he's going to be the candidate.
Well, and again, this would give, by announcing today, it basically gives him cover to say what they're trying to tell you, that I don't have the strength anymore. Look at my rallies. Still, my rallies are loaded. We have more people that come to rallies than anyone has ever attended a rally in the history of rallies. This goes back to the Roman times, I'm pretty sure.
They should do a drinking game with things like every time you hear people tell me all the time, they've never seen anything like this before. Never. It was amazing. Believe me. Biggest of all time. Whatever it might be. It's just bombastic, over the topness.
I also laughed at the political pundits who are talking about Biden. And, Biden will not run unless President Trump runs, because it's been determined the only person that is out there for Democrats that can beat President Trump is Joe Biden. Man, what planet are you living on? There is no way Joe Biden could handle another term. I don't see it. I don't see how he could do it physically. And I get it. Liberal Lou will tell you he's at the top of his game, even though he's slowed down. But that'd be another 2 years and then another 4. I just don't know that Jill Biden would say this is a good idea, but that's what some people say.
You mentioned David Muir on TV and Syracuse grad. You know who I saw yesterday on television?
All over NBC.
It was tragic, a tragic situation for Ryan Nobles.
It's funny. I'm not sure. I had somebody in the political world say, I see Ryan has moved to the right. Not far, but he's moved to the right, because NBC is considered far more to the right than CNN.
Yeah.
Although CNN is making all of these changes where they're trying to get away from the politics of and trying to go back more, move more towards the center and journalism. I'm not sure that if you watch CNN, you currently see it, but that is the new head of CNN. That is his goal, to move away from basically the biased political commentary.
It's funny that you say I'm not sure if you see it, because I've actually been looking to see how they're handling certain things. And yesterday, just clicking through, I was actually in the studio. I was clicking through for something, And as soon as it went to CNN, it was the first words that I heard out of a host's mouth was Trump, and it was something about, I don't know if it was about the announcement.
Well, the three words that they began using that I think became a CNN thing that I think the new CEO is saying we shouldn't be doing because it's not journalism is the big lie. So when talking about the elections, and for a journalist, calling something the big lie means that you're serving as judge and jury. You've decided that it is not true. Now, while there's all the evidence in the world that shows that it is not true, that it's been proven, you're still making an editorial statement when you call it the big lie versus President Trump, who says the election was stolen. However, there's no evidence, et cetera, et cetera. You could present it that way, but by presenting it as the big lie, isn't that editorialism? I think it absolutely is. But I think I've still heard that on CNN when flipping through. Anyway, Ryan Nobles has left CNN and was all over with a tragic story yesterday, all over NBC and NBC Nightly News, doing a back and forth with Lester Holt last night on the tragic shooting in Virginia.
Yeah, and bizarre. I guess when I was watching his update, it's still unknown as to why this person did this, right? Or is it?
It
known?
has to be. I mean, had at one point I think was on the football team,
right?
So you got to be thinking it's some sort of. I don't know what it would be, but at the very least, they had a connection on the football team.
Right, and 3 players, all from the football team, killed. At least 2 others were injured in the shooting.
I mean, he walked onto the bus and just started firing away. So it seemed as if it was anybody who was on that bus could have been shot and killed. Terrible. All right, winter storm. I should say a winter weather advisory is in effect. And do you want to know what Richard thinks?
Yes.
What does Richard think?
I do.
Weather already downgraded to a wintry mix, although I really think that's what, I guess it was downgraded last night to a wintry mix, right, as opposed to a potential nor'easter is how they were describing it early on. Richard says already downgraded to a wintry mix with maybe an inch or so, and tomorrow, all rain. Easy, Keeler. It's nothing. Move on, says Richard.
Okay.
Meteorologist Richard. You could log me in here. I'm assuming that's Tanya Powers. Tanya J. Powers, standing by from Fox News right now. Tanya, good morning.
Good morning.
So we were just talking a bit about, does President Trump make the announcement today? If I guess you were to bet on this, probably the safe bet would be, well, he probably will. What does he have to lose? He could still back out at any time. However, Mike Pence all over the news yesterday talking about President Trump and January 6th. What do we know?
Yeah, his new book comes out today. It just, hit newsstands, so to speak, bookstores, Amazon, in the middle of the night. So it's called So Help Me God, which, of course, is the last 4 words of the oath he took, which made him vice president in 2017. And he starts the first chapter by talking about January 6th. There's some notable things in the first chapter, and by the way, I did not get a review copy, so I'm reading furiously this morning through here, trying to get through as much as I can. But I did notice a couple of things. Like I said, the first thing, like the very first chapter in the prelude, the first words are January 6, 2021, United States Capitol, Washington, D.C., shortly after 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That it immediately sets you right there and goes. And on the first page of the book, he says, that he had told the president that particular morning that one final time that he believed his oath required him to preside over the joint session of Congress and certify the election. This is what he says, and certify the results of the 2020 presidential election, the election we had lost. It had been a difficult conversation. And it goes from there. He talks about how he said he was, by the time they had gotten him out of the chamber, and his Secret Service folks had said, "Hey, you need to go somewhere safe." And about that time, when they were, he and his family and his staff and everybody were in his ceremonial office there that he has as president of the Senate.
Right.
He said, I was not afraid. I was angry. He said, I was angry at what I saw, how it desecrated the seat of our democracy and dishonored the patriotism of millions of our supporters who would never do such a thing here or anywhere else. He's talking about all the historical things that have happened in the Capitol, and how, even people who had their disagreements, Americans before them have had that, then, they figured out a way to come together and to solve their problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he starts off talking about the one thing that I think a lot of people are going to read this book for. He also, of course, during the book, he talks about his life, his, background, his time as a talk show host, as a governor, the different roles he has had throughout his life.
That for some people, Pence is going to be the traitor, the person who turned on Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's. I don't think it's going to be. I think the people who view him that way have viewed him that way since January 6th.
Yeah.
I don't think this book is going to change their mind necessarily. I think that this is the thing that I think a lot of people have been waiting to hear from him for, because he didn't really speak about this publicly. He's not been out there giving interviews and telling his side of the story from January 7th on. This is where he chose to put this. Now, is this a precursor to? Is this the sort of book that, we always see when somebody wants to run for president? They always put out a book. It's like, okay, I need to get this out of there. I'm going to put all this information in a book, and I'm going to put it out there, and then I can refer people to the book when they ask me questions. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
But it's already an interesting book, and I'm only a few pages in.
Is there any chance, boy, I know this won't happen, it's a stupid question, but I would love to see it. What time is Trump's announcement today?
I don't think we know the time. I think we know it's expected today.
All right, let's say it's at 3 p.m.
Or we believe it's expected today.
If Pence comes out at like 1:30 and says, I have an announcement to make, I'm running for president, steal the thunder right from Trump, oh, that would be so awesome.
I guess that would be interesting, but I think you'll, I don't know. What do you think?
It's not Pence's personality. There's no way it happens.
Not. And not even DeSantis. I think everybody waits back to see what President Trump is going to do. So this is it is interesting, but there are plenty of Republicans who also, and maybe the number's not as large, but also believe that Pence did his constitutional duty, did the right thing in the midst of adversity, did the absolute right thing for America.
This is a majority, silent majority thing, though. I think the majority of Republicans think he did the right thing,
and especially those who are in Congress. Tanya, would you agree? But they fear if they come out. This is the first time I think that any Republicans have felt that coming out and saying, "Yeah, what happened on January 6th was bad," because they feel that maybe the wrath of President Trump isn't as damaging as they once thought it was.
Well, I think the midterms showed us that it's not a how do I put this? If you look at who won in the midterms,
right,
and the I don't know if repudiation is a good word for that, but the fact that it wasn't just a shoo-in for all of the Trump-backed candidates. That was not the general consensus of what we saw as far as the midterm results went.
Right. Even up here.
Exactly. If it had been, I would say, okay, yeah, then maybe the majority of Republicans do believe that way.
Yeah.
I think the majority of run of the mill, so to speak, conservative, like the traditional conservative Republicans that we have always thought of as being a Republican, right?
Right.
I think a lot of them have not necessarily been as vocal about the way that they feel about all of this. But I've talked to people anecdotally on the ground, also in my work covering stories and stuff. They're out there. They're absolutely out there.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily run up to people's microphones and go, "I have something to say." That's not that crowd.
One of our listeners, Rob, says a congresswoman on the 1/6 the January 6th committee was beaten by a Republican. 4 members now gone from that committee. That is true, and you look at Liz Cheney. But there's a difference there. I think that Republicans are not in favor of the January 6th committee. They see it as being something the Democrats are using to take advantage of what happened, and would rather have it. Okay, it was wrong. Let's take care of those who broke the law, and let's move forward and not use it as a weapon against the entire Republican Party in the midterms and the upcoming elections. So that's interesting. The other thing that I find interesting is Brandon Williams, who is the Republican who's going to win in the 22nd Congressional District up here, a district that was held by moderate Republican John Katko, but has been changed so it skews even more Democrat. Brandon Williams, the Republican, is going to win. I thought it was very interesting during a debate with Syracuse.com just 2 weeks ago. When asked about January 6th, he said it was wrong and President Trump should have done more to stop it. That's the first time Brandon Williams had come out and said anything negatively about President Trump, period. I thought that was very interesting. And he'll win by a few votes, a couple thousand votes when it's all said and done, it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, like I said, I think it's an interesting, way to look at what happened and who is supporting whom. And, what that means is there's room for another candidate somewhere. Now, are they going to win? That's a whole different story, but I think that there's room for another, more traditional conservative presidential candidate somewhere.
Well, I think the move to become, quote, enemies with DeSantis in Florida is a big mistake and a big disappointment for Republicans. We'll see where that all goes. As always, Tanya, you're wonderful, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. Speaking of that 22nd Congressional District, today I sent you a story from the New York Times. The headline was, why is it that in some states, these elections are taking so long? And it kind of gets into it and what their rules are in dealing with affidavit ballots, which is what we have an issue with here. Those are people who come in to cast their vote, and there's some problem. I don't have your name. Maybe you're in the wrong place, whatever. You're given the opportunity to cast your vote. Then it will be debated whether or not your vote counts. But at least you're potentially in the mix. And it's those that will be about 1,200 of them that are holding up the congressional race, along with some absentees. But today there is an action in federal court, and once again, Supreme Court Justice Scott Del Conte is going to be in the middle of it. If you remember, he's the one that ruled, and he is a judge who would lean more Democrat, some would say, but he ruled in Claudia Tenney's favor that we can't count any further. Enough with the counting based on the abnormalities that occurred at each of the polling places, a couple in particular. He ruled in favor of Claudia Tenney, and she won by just over 100 votes. This has a bit of a bigger margin, but within reach if you're Francis Knoll. But the Knoll-Williams race may very well come to an end today. Del Conte is about to rule on a decision at some point this morning involving Onondaga and Oswego, as they are planning to count their affidavit ballots. If he orders the process delayed, it would impact all countywide races in Onondaga County, including the race between Francis Knoll and Brandon Williams and their sheriff's race in Onondaga County. So this could delay the outcome even further.
The difference right now is 3,900 votes, 3,925.
Yeah.
It's about 1.5 points percentage-wise. So, but are you saying there's only 1,200 ballots?
It's saying that 1,200 affidavits.
Okay.
So there could be more absentees. There's got to be more if it's not called as of yet. But they are saying that Knoll would have to win about 69% of the count in order for him to surpass Brandon Williams. That is probably not likely. So here is the question. What they want is, in going through, so there's apparently a new law that has been passed, and people in different districts are reading it differently than maybe someone in Albany is reading it. So the Board of Elections in Albany says the new law was designed to have candidates in the room when the ballots are counted. However, in Onondaga and Oswego, the Board of Elections read it that the candidates will not be present when the ballots are opened and debated. So let's say you're Francis Knoll and you're Brandon Williams. You cannot be in the room while they go through the votes. It'll be the Democratic side of the Board of Elections, the Republican side of the Board of Elections. They'll be in the room, but not the candidates. So they appealed to the court, saying we feel that the candidates should be allowed to be in the room, and it'll be that decision that Del Conte makes today to determine whether or not there's a delay or whether or not they continue and move forward.
All right, so this is interesting because in my conversation with Jim Zecca, he mentioned this because he's been at the Board of Elections each of the last several days. Okay, I'm skimming the text messages. Some of the texts he sent me were quite extensive. He's got a tally on absentee ballots from 11/10. Again, that's from last Thursday. 446 absentee ballots were counted that day. Many ridiculous changes to the election law regarding counting. There were only there were only Brandon representatives at the Oneida County Board of Elections last Thursday. One from the RNC, which was odd because they were opening over 400 absentee ballot envelopes. After opening, they stuck the ballots in a metal filing cabinet for holding over the weekend and did not put them through the machine to be counted at that time. So, and it's, like I said, Jim's been there, I believe, every day. He told me he's going to be down there again at 10:30 this morning. But he also had mentioned to me that each side was allowed to have 5 people from the camp, like whether they were campaign people.
Right. Well, that's the way Oneida County is handling it. Onondaga and Oswego are both saying the candidates can't have their representatives there. So it'll only be the representatives from the Board of Elections, which have Democratic representatives and Republican. And that's the issue that Del Conte is going to decide on today. The State Board of Elections says the new law is clear. It allows candidates and their representatives to be in the room. Onondaga and Oswego says, no, it doesn't. So it'll be interesting to see what Del Conte decides today. As Rob says, both the New York Times and Fox News have called the race in favor of Brandon Williams. Trying not to sneeze.
Bless you.
Yes.
I thought that was what was coming.
If I did, it would have been bad because I thought I had covered it, and I guess I did. Anyway, all of that going on, and you say, why do things last so long? Well, it's because of the political infighting that goes on, and the push and shove back and forth as candidates go over how these votes are counted. But I think it would be a miracle for Brandon Williams. Let's say a miracle for Knoll to win.
Yeah, I think at this point you might be correct.
Because it's about 70%. So 7 out of every 10 votes would have to be in Knoll's favor when they're counting.
And based on the breakdown from last Thursday, that wasn't
I would
case.
say Knoll would have a slight advantage, just because I think he's more politically established. But so maybe he had a better absentee campaign, et cetera, et cetera. But to say it'd be a 7 out of 10 vote advantage, I don't see that.
Wow. And I want to say thanks to Jim. He sent me some photos. They have like a little watch area where it's on like a screen streaming from the other room for those who want to watch it happen.
And I wonder how they're doing it in Oswego and Onondaga, just allowing I mean, why wouldn't you allow at least a representative from each campaign to be there? Yeah, I think they should be there.
And again, I could be completely wrong here, but this is just my understanding. When these ballots come in, there's not a lot of how people they'll fight over signatures, the campaigns or the Board of Elections. Mm-hmm. They'll say, "Oh, that doesn't look like so and so signature." That's so open to interpretation. Oh, did he hook the Y? Whatever. In this case, you get a ballot, and it should be clearly marked with a marker, right? It's not like you're spelling out, is he saying Matt Costone or is he saying Matt Costelli?
I know there was somebody that was telling me, who was this? They were voting, and they were given the iPad, and they signed their name, and the woman said, "I'm sorry, that doesn't match your signature." And he said, I can't remember who this was, but either, just for the record, I either dreamed this up or somebody told me this. And he said, "Well, of course it doesn't. I'm signing with an iPad and my finger."
Yeah.
And she said, well, you got it here. Let me wipe it out and re-sign. So he did it again. She said, yeah, it still doesn't match. I'm sorry. He said, but you know who I am.
That's ridiculous.
We know each other.
No, that's.
And she said, I know, but the rules are the rules. So apparently maybe a manager of some sort with the Board of Elections came over, some superior came over and looked at it, and they finally allowed the signature. But I do wonder, are we to the point now where I hate these situations where you have someone who's in control.
Yes.
Who knows the answer. Now, I understand they have to ask you verbally. It's kind of like when you're at the casino and you're playing blackjack and you say, you nod that you want to take a hit, and the dealer says, you have to point. Mm-hmm. Well, you're pointing for the cameras, right?
Correct, yeah.
And I understand.
You have a 7. We know you're not staying.
That's right. But we know you're not going to. We know what you're doing, but we have to see it on the cameras. So you have to make that point in order for me to hit. So, and I understand that when you walk into to vote, you have to follow certain protocols. You got to give your name, et cetera, all of that. And you have to sign, and it does have to kind of. But if you know the person,
right? If
you can vouch and say, Bob and I grew up together. I know this is Bob E. Johnson. I know this is him. Is that wrong for you to let that go? Or do you have to be like, I'm sorry, the rule says the signature has to match, and this signature doesn't match, so I'm not letting you through? Or is this because at one time you pulled her hair while you were on the school bus back when you both went to high school together? I don't know. It seems like you're arguing foolishness. At times.
It really is.
Right?
It really is.
Do you know that a week from Friday is Black Friday?
Yeah, I can't believe how quickly Thanksgiving's come up, and obviously Black Friday is the next day.
Of course, it is the next day. It is a week from Friday, which means, you're going to have, and there will be those stores that'll open up on Thursday, Thanksgiving, right, where you get those deals. And a lot of the deals are already out there that are Black Friday deals. Through the month, they've been giving those Black Friday deals. You know the great ones, though, where you walk away with a TV for like $99, and you walk away with a beautiful 60-inch TV with a bloody nose, and you're like, yes, I got it. And the old woman I knocked over to get it.
Yeah.
Is not a nice person.
The deal that you'll know when it's a good enough deal because am I ready to swing at somebody for this television?
Yes, I'm
this
afraid.
Electronic.
Yes.
So I can't remember if this was last year or this year, but yeah, that's the big thing now. It's like Black Friday shopping. They would do anything to get you in line at their store before they open before.
Yeah.
Now they'll do anything to let you order online.
I think the whole Black Friday experience is changing.
Don't come here. Don't come. Just tell us what you want.
Yeah.
We'll get it to you. One more thing quick on the election. This is from a listener, her husband, Dave. They made Dave sign 5 times because they didn't like his signature. Then they tried to tell him that he would have to register to vote with a new signature, and then they finally let him vote.
This is
this signature thing.
This is from Dave. When I went to vote, it rejected my signature 5 times. Oh, I think we're reading. So I think funny. You've got the wife. I've got the husband.
I think that's true.
The guy told me I was going to have to register to vote all over again. Is that
funny.
What you just said?
Yes, that is. That's funny.
That's funny.
Well, good morning to both of you.
They showed me my signature that I had signed with a pen in 1992, and they were trying to compare it with my signature that I signed with a floppy stylus. Totally funny. Yes. So we have Manaski as the wife. I have the husband. We verified this story to be 100% true.
Independently.
I got to say, it was a couple of years ago, the Board of Elections. First of all, I was voting, and the woman's like, this was in Herkimer County, and I came up and she said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, I'm going to vote. You can't vote here. You don't live here.
What?
Honest to God. And I'm like, well, I kind of have for the last 15 years. No, he doesn't. He doesn't live here.
What?
And then someone came over and they're like, yes, he lives up on South 4th. Yeah, he lives here. And I'd lived there for 15 years. I never knew it.
Wow.
no apology. I never knew it. I didn't know it. So, you should have informed me.
Right.
Should have let me know. But the other thing she said to me was, your signature is terrible. And it is. But and as you look at from all the years now, I had voted in Ilion from 1999 until we moved from there 5 years ago. So you could see my signature and how it had degraded over the years. Well, it had significantly degraded.
That's the thing,
but
too.
But then again, so have I.
Right. What if you walked in there and the person behind with the tablet said, Bill, this isn't Bill Keeler. I used to know Bill Keeler. He parted his hair to the left.
That's right.
Things change over time.
I know.
So I guess my question is, at what point does it become the thumbprint is what?
Well, and, think about it. I can only promise you, if my signature is degraded since 1999, it's only going to get worse as years go on.
Right.
It ain't getting better. That's for darn sure. Michael this morning says, regarding the election, you don't need perfect eyesight to see that people are tired of talking about 2020. But get it? 2020 vision. Yeah. I like that, Michael.
It's a little over my head. Early in the morning.
I like it. All right, a couple of other things before we break. Boy, we have not taken a break, have we? But I will for you, I promise. We mentioned football last night. What an end. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield have merged their minds in business. Have you seen this?
No.
You're going to love it. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield are teaming up to sell Holy Ears. Yeah, boy, you got to, Holy Ears, cannabis-infused edibles shaped like, you guessed it, bitten ears. Obviously, it's a reference to the 1997 fight where Tyson bit a chunk of Evander's ear off. They made their peace years ago. In fact, in the new promotional video, Evander gives the gift of an iron to Mike to celebrate ironing things out. I love it when you do something symbolic and you have to explain it because no one would know the symbolism unless you explained it.
Right.
Then Mike gives his gift to Evander, a package of new ears. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think I have audio, but I'll have to play it afterwards because I'm running out of time. But we will play the audio. So,
it's dumb.
Ridiculous?
Yes. It's a business venture. They're looking to make the best of it.
If you're in Vegas or you're at the, they wouldn't sell edibles at the Boxing Hall of Fame. But I guess if you're in Vegas, there'd be a novelty to it or something, right? Maybe for the holidays, there'll be a novelty for a boxing fan. I don't know. Today is National Recycling Day.
Hey,
so
I like recycling.
You're a big recycling person, so if you're into doing the right thing, recycle and recycle responsibly. Some guy got tired of waiting for his McNuggets the other day, so he went behind the counter and stole 20 of them. And here's how that went down. Oh, I can't play the audio. Sorry. And this is another one that I want to get into. There's a YouTube prankster who was arrested for disturbing the peace when filming a prank inside of a Dallas Apple store. The setup involved someone pretending to cut in line, then him hitting that person with a shopping bag, and he's been arrested for that. There was another YouTube prankster who apparently was using his YouTube persona to actually stalk a female. And at the point when police finally arrived, because the woman was said, this man won't leave me alone, he was using the cover of his YouTube show to be able to get away with it. And at the point where the police were interviewing the guy, and this is all on live YouTube Live, the guy said, listen, women are all like this. They like to play hard to get.
Oh, my goodness.
And the cop was like, no, I think she doesn't want you to follow her.
Right.
No, believe me, they're all into this. She really wants, she just doesn't know it right now. So it turns out the guy's probably got a bit of a sick mind. And this is the type of stuff that women have to deal with.
Yeah, and that's
the
type of person that
horrible.
Even when you call the police, they think you're flirting with them.
They think that you're all in on it. No matter how many times you say, you could be crying, telling them to stop, and they feel it's all a part of it. She really wants me deep inside. It's the delusion that keeps them going. It's pretty darn scary when you think about it, especially when it's entirely caught on live camera, on live YouTube. Got a break. We have news straight ahead. We'll give you that full weather forecast coming up.
Every day at NBT Bank, we focus our business around all the ways we can help yours. We're large enough to offer leading business and digital solutions, but local enough to ensure personalized one-on-one service. So turn to NBT Bank for a full range of business solutions, like capital and treasury management services, even fraud protection, and see how NBT Bank is just the right size to help you do big things. Visit nbtbank.com to learn more and start a conversation. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
New York, you deserve more. And with United Healthcare, you'll get more. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So call United Healthcare today. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more from your Medicare dollar, now including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-855-295-6277 today and speak with a licensed sales agent. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
She may not go quietly. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Republican projected to have lost the Arizona governor's race to Democrat Katie Hobbs. Carrie Lake tells Fox the election was botched and votes are not all counted, and many of them
are in Maricopa County, where they took our sacred vote and they just made a mockery of it.
Lake was backed by former President Trump and, like him, has questioned the 2020 election results. This as Donald Trump looks ahead to 2024. He'll make an announcement at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight at his Florida Mar-a-Lago home, expected to be him running for president again.
Already, the reception in Washington is lukewarm at best. Lindsey Graham, a supporter of the president, saying, well, let's see what he says. He says he'll weigh in after the Georgia election.
Fox's Griff Jenkins outside Mar-a-Lago. Some Republicans blame the former president for the lack of a red midterm elections wave for helping nominate GOP candidates that lost. Now, Republicans are one win away from a House majority in the next Congress, with 13 races still undecided. Today, House Republicans will pick their leadership. Kevin McCarthy is hoping to be the next speaker.
Conservatives in the House Freedom Caucus have suggested a challenge and are hoping to win concessions in a rules package as leverage. Regardless of today's vote, McCarthy will need to win an outright majority on the House floor in January, a vote that could mean winning near unanimous support from Republicans if the majority is as small as election projections now indicate.
Fox's Jared Halpern. President Biden's at the G20 summit where they're pledging to spend
billions of dollars in developing economies on things like energy security and health infrastructure.
We're at an inflection point. Investments we make today will have far-reaching impact on the world for generations to come.
It also looks like we'll get a declaration condemning Russia's actions in Ukraine, but acknowledging not all nations feel that way.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Democrats say that high inflation would go away after the Fed's rate hikes, but month after month, the numbers prove nothing has changed. In fact, food and housing prices are still going higher. Meanwhile, Biden is still finding ways to print more dollars. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to take action to protect your savings from inflation. How? By diversifying your current retirement funds into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, simply text the word PROTECT to 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This 20-page guide will answer all your questions about using gold in your retirement account. This is the best way to stop your purchasing power from being stolen by Democrats like Joe Biden. So text PROTECT to the number 989898. That's PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Mostly cloudy skies, 27 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. We have a winter weather advisory in place from 6 o'clock tonight until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Winter weather advisory, that's correct, from 6 tonight till 1 tomorrow afternoon. We'll get more into what is expected to begin tonight. A few inches of snow showers mixing with rain and freezing rain as well. More on that coming up in just 2 minutes. Well, the security detection system at the Proctor High School has been recalibrated to detect knives. This after a student was stabbed by a classmate on Halloween. The October 31st incident involved a 17-year-old male Proctor student allegedly attacking and stabbing an 18-year-old male several times in a hallway. Police say that student, whose name has not been released, was charged with attempted assault, a Class C felony, and a misdemeanor charge of criminal possession of a weapon. Yesterday on the Keeler Show, we spoke with Robert Cardillo. He's a Utica School Board member and mayoral candidate in Utica. He explained the recalibration, and he says the Evolved Weapons Detection System was installed over the summer, and it cost the district about $400,000. Syracuse head football coach Dino Baber says the shooting deaths of 3 University of Virginia football players is affecting his team. Baber saying that members of his current coaching staff were at Virginia before coming to SU. He also said he expresses condolences to everyone affected by the tragedy. The players were shot on Sunday night. A suspect is in custody. New York State Attorney General Letitia James cracking down on online retailers illegally selling firearm ammunition. Her office identified 39 sellers that have been violating state law, she says, and shipping ammunition directly to addresses in New York State. James has ordered these retailers to immediately stop shipments or risk serious legal consequence. A Madison County man in some legal trouble. It's alleged that he fired off a flare gun inside of a central New York bar. 39-year-old Joshua Brayton of Chittenango is accused of getting into an altercation with another patron at Crossroads Tavern. He allegedly then fired the flare gun and hit a person before leaving in a vehicle. Police say they later pulled that vehicle over, where officers found a 12-gauge shotgun, ammunition, and a flare gun inside. Brayton is now facing multiple charges. Governor Kathy Hochul finishing her latest visit upstate. She was in Buffalo to commemorate the 6-month anniversary of the mass shooting at Tops. Yesterday, the governor said people in the area will continue to come together and forge a path ahead, just like they did May 14th when a gunman shot and killed 10 people and hurt 3 others. And the world's population expected to hit 8 billion today. This comes just 11 years after the global population hit the 7 billion mark. India and China are the most populous countries in the world. Each has over 1 billion people. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast again has a winter weather advisory in effect from 6 p.m. tonight until 1 tomorrow afternoon. Expect some mixed precipitation while that is in place. First today, increasing clouds with a high near 40. Snow showers tonight. Snow showers mixing with freezing rain as well. An overnight low of 30 degrees. Accumulation of about an inch to maybe 2 inches. We could see a little ice accumulation as well. Wednesday morning's commute, rain showers, snow showers, and freezing rain. It will become all rain after 9 a.m., a high of 42. Thursday, more snow showers. We could see another maybe half inch of accumulation. On Thursday, a high of 38. Friday, a chance of snow showers, otherwise mostly cloudy and 37. And we're going to do this every day. Every forecast is going to be chance of snow showers, and it's cold until June. 7:07 right now. We have cloudy skies, 27 degrees. Here's Bill with sports.
All right, we need a new plastic thing for this chair down here. It's all broken up. I can't even move around here. It's terrible. Yeah. Just steal one from OUR or something, Davey, all right? Rip it right out of there. Thank you. Last night in Monday Night Football, wow, the Philadelphia Eagles are no longer undefeated. Suffered their first loss of the season as the Washington Commanders upset their divisional rivals 32-21 in Philly. The Eagles trailed 24-14 at the half after Joey Sly, nailed a 58-yard field goal. Washington led by 9 points to start the fourth quarter. An unnecessary roughness penalty on Philly's Brandon Graham with less than 2 minutes left in the game helped seal the victory for the Commanders. Terry McLaurin had 128 receiving yards for Washington, who improved to 5-5 on the season. The Eagles are now no longer perfect, 8-1. The cheers coming from Miami.
Yes, Christine and the Miami Dolphins are having some champagne this morning.
Major League Baseball announced their Rookies of the Year. Rookie of the Year in the for the Mariners. That was in the American League is Julio Rodriguez. Came out on top for the American League, beating out Orioles catcher Adley Rutzman and Guardians left fielder Stephen Kwan. Rodriguez became the fifth player in Seattle team history to win the award. In the National League, Braves outfielder Michael Harris, the second, took the award in the National League. NHL last night, the Islanders double up the Senators. 4 skaters found the back of the net as the Islanders beat the Senators 4-2 in Ottawa. Devils visit the Canadiens tonight. Adam Fox for the Rangers, recognized for his performance over the past week. Defenseman was named the NHL's third star of the week. Are the Comets at home this week on Wednesday? Do you know? Just double-check that schedule for me. I forgot to check on that. But I will tell you, if you want to watch the Syracuse game tonight, Syracuse basketball is playing Colgate. They're 1-0 right now. They played, of course, nobody. And they'll play Colgate tonight. Davey, I thought it was the year before, but you're saying it was last year Colgate defeated Syracuse.
Yeah.
Remember that? It's first time since, I don't know, it was like 1960 or something. And tonight they will play. That game is on TV. It's on the Yes Network.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
Are you telling me there was 3 Boeheims on the court when Colgate beat them?
Yes.
Boy, that's tough.
That would have been the case, right?
And your question on the Comets. Comets are home Saturday.
We'll talk about that a little bit, and the Pioneers as well.
And the answer to your question is next Wednesday they're home.
And the top 25 is out, basketball's top 25. I don't believe Syracuse even got a vote.
They're 1-0. How the heck are they going to make it in? They played one single game.
Well, there are, right. But the teams that are in the tournament have only won 2 games. So it's not like, you know. And there's even a preseason poll, Davey.
Mm-hmm. It's North Carolina and Gonzaga, and it's going to be like that all season long.
Okay. North Carolina right now, number 1, ranked number 1. That really doesn't mean anything, though, right? Syracuse means nothing. They'll be who knows what and then get into the tournament and go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, you want Syracuse to be 18-11, a 7 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. It just seems to work for them. I don't get it. Dr. Hall this hour. We'll speak with him. And also our free money question of the day, chance for you to win $106.90. Got a great question for you today. With Hobica's money on the line. Your chance to win is coming up this hour. And we'll take some phone calls. You want to pipe in on anything that's going on out there, whether it be the politics. President Trump making his announcement today. Ann is right at the edge of the phone. She wants so much to call in and tell us all about it. Feel free to do that. We'll take your calls coming up. 7-11 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. It's time to raise the bar for the Mohawk Valley region, and with your support of the Genesis Group annual appeal, we can help make that happen. The Genesis Group is the Mohawk Valley source for news and information, views and opinions, community projects, and regional events. Genesis believes that our community is ready for new levels of success. We are welcoming new companies and seeing local businesses expanding. Our region is on the rise. During this season of giving, I invite you to support our annual fund appeal. Your financial assistance will help fund programs and events in education, healthcare, community and economic development, and so much more. Our Board of Trustees have all made a contribution. They join me in asking you to do the same. For more information about the Genesis Group and to make your pledge, please visit our website, thegenesisgroup.org. Thank you.
Alex and Sarah had heard Mattress Express's new weekend talk show called Pillow Talk, where we discussed sleep divorce, couples sleeping in separate beds. They were headed that way and they didn't want it. They came to Mattress Express to try the number bed because they couldn't agree on a bed. Alex had a bad back. He liked his side firm. He selected number 42. We elevated his head and feet, put the massage on medium. He said he had not had that relief in years. Sarah liked a softer bed. Her number was 18. No wonder they couldn't agree on a bed. We elevated her head a little more, her feet a little less. She liked the massage on low. No more sleep divorce for Alex and Sarah. And it was affordable because they qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down, and then chose from a list of luxury rewards. They chose a stainless steel gas grill. Visit any Mattress Express, no appointments necessary, or call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Injury crash? 2-door, 4-door, SUV, motorcycle, big truck. At William Attar, we're New York's largest motor vehicle accident firm, helping those injured in New York State. If a crash caused the death of a loved one, call William Attar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. Call William Attar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse, 315-444-4444.
River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in central New York. Still, it's the fastest growing real estate company. And why is that? It's all of what they do. It's the services that they provide. Bill and Robin Monjo started right from the very beginning saying we will be different. They provide what they call it's their trademark book, the book, 40 to 100 pages. And they go through everything, receipts, improvements that were made on the home, what it cost, warranties, et cetera, all done in a book form. So every prospective buyer can take a look at it, get an idea of what they want to do. Do you want to make an offer on this? What should the offer be? Maybe we shouldn't offer this because we're going to have to put a new roof on, et cetera, et cetera. It's all there. And when you do purchase the home, if you do, it becomes the manual. It just makes the process go that much better for the potential buyer, which is great for the seller because it speeds up the process. They never use the lockbox. Your listing agent is there every single time your house is shown. That helps sell the house. It also gives you peace of mind. It's River Hills Properties, the River Hills way. It's a different philosophy when it comes to selling your home. You get taken care of. In Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, let me go to Kathy in Rome. Standing by, ready to go. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning. Boy, that was a fantastic second hour. I felt bad for the lady that she lost her baby.
Oh, you caught me off guard there. I know you're talking about Yellowstone.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then
But don't you,
wolves.
Kathy? Don't you think though?
Spoiler alert!
I know, but don't you think? Why did she get in the car? I mean, he had an ambulance coming. You would have been safer having the baby at the house than you would driving down the road, swerving all over the place, and hitting a moose.
Yeah, well, you would have thought so, but I drove myself too to the hospital.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But that boy.
I'm going to drive
he's
myself to the
governor.
dentist today.
Now with
I think I'll be fine.
the wolves having the tracker on it, that's going to be. I look forward to every week.
Yeah, that's going to be and you notice at the very end the. Spoiler alert. At the very end, the one little tracker showed up in the river.
I wondered
Dun, dun,
about
dun.
the Indy Casino. Sometimes they're happy with John Dutton, and other times they're not. Where do you think their final stand's going to be?
I really wonder. It creates that whole rivalry, doesn't it? That incredible dynamic that this show is. I love the show. I even though I question a couple things, I love that show. Can't wait for it to be back.
The music is excellent, also.
Yep, you're right. All right, Kathy, we are in sync here on Yellowstone. I'm with you.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks so much. You're not even watching it, are you?
Not yet. I actually went on.
You got some binging. You could binge this. Yeah. Start with season 1.
Or you could just tell me what happens at the
I
end.
could. I think I already have. Sorry.
A couple comments here. I'll just squeeze them in quickly. Stephen Rome says, my signature has morphed wildly, too, since I registered to vote in the late 80s. Bob in Whitesboro, same thing. Same thing happened to me when I went to vote. I tried 3 times to sign in. I asked the lady, can I just show you my license? She said, sure.
I had to sign a document yesterday, and it was so easy to, and I'm sure you can do this on PCs as well, but for Mac, everything, is in sync, right? Your laptop with the iPad or your phone. But I had to give a signature, and it used to be you'd take the mouse and try to create a signature, and that would be your electronic signature.
Very rigid, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one way to do it. But now it asked, I didn't even know it did this. It said, would you like to sign on your iPad? And I did. And it allowed me to sign the most neat, sloppy signature that I could possibly sign. It was beautiful.
It's the neatest, sloppiest
the
signature.
Neatest of my sloppy signatures. Technology, wild. Okay, you're out on the road. You're driving. Gas prices. Why are we paying 10 cents more than Syracuse or Rochester? I mean, it's an age-old question, right?
It is. It's a great question. And then I think if you look and see how much diesel cost,
well,
I mean, it's
problem.
like $2. Is it not $2 more than regular fuel?
What they are saying is that there is a major potential shortage of diesel fuel. So if you think prices are high right now, hold on. It's going to get worse. And Jay Young is the author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing and has all the details on this. Jay, good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Good. So, we're dealing with already high prices, especially up here in New York where taxes are high. What's going to happen to are we in the midst of a further shortage when it comes to diesel?
Yeah, I really do think we are. We're just not producing it like we need to. Biden's been against the fossil fuel industry since he came into office with the shutdown of, pipelines and permits and things, and especially the pipelines. And that pipeline out of Canada, that Keystone pipeline out of Canada, we would have received 600,000 to 700,000 barrels a day from Canada, which was needed. And that type of oil is needed. Not all is the same. Not all oil.
Right.
Easy for you to say, Jay.
Yeah. It's an hour earlier here in Dallas, but so it is, and we need that type of crude. Russia also had that kind of oil that we needed to refine diesel fuel, and that's one of the problems that we've had. So we've got a shortage, and we're going to continue to have a shortage unless we get back to drilling like we need to in the United States for oil. Unless we get back to drilling, then we're going to have a shortage, and if we have a shortage. Then there's obviously going to be more demand, and the demand goes up. We have the supply problem. Prices are going to go up, which that's what oil and gas companies aren't the ones that sit around and think about what can we gouge these consumers for with gas prices. It's all about supply and demand.
How long would it take to see these refineries? Because a lot of the without getting into the whole thing, the refineries really went down when gas prices, the price of oil went so low that they couldn't, it wasn't economically feasible for them to continue to do business. And that, I think, was an attack on America from Russia and from Iran. But how long would it take for refineries to get back up? Take one individual refinery. How long would that take to get back up and operational, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it takes months, years. I mean, it's not just easy something that we do. It's a long process for what we need, and the money that comes in, the locations to drill, the people. I mean, there's a shortage of pipe. There's all these different things right now. So we've got a huge shortage right now.
Yeah, shortage of people to be able the employees to be able to get out there and do the work.
Exactly.
It's I have a feeling the next year is going to be a tough year. It does feel that way.
Well, and Jay, that's what you're saying too. It's not getting any easier down the road, especially if it takes that long. Even if there's a drastic change in policy, it's not going to yield anything.
We're not going to see it right away.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm going to jump off now, guys. KingOperating.com. Call me back. I'd love to sit and chat with you guys. Man, you guys sound great.
Thank you, Jay.
We're actually horrible and not very talented, but thank you.
Sloppy signatures.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Just ask our listeners. They will be quick to jump right in and let you know. Oh, yeah, they're terrible. They're right. The one, especially. The one there. Let me keep it rolling. Is that okay?
Yes.
Dr. Ken Hall standing by. Let me take Cordelia first, and then I'll break, and then Dr. Hall. Doc, if you can just hold on for a second, if you could. Hello, Cordelia in Rome. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you all. On national news, I watched it today this morning a little bit, and they were interviewing Pence, and he's kind of maybe leaning to run for president himself.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that will be quite a deal, and especially if DeSantis has had strong I wanted to come in, too.
Who do you like, Cordelia? Who do you like, I mean, of the Republicans?
Well, I haven't seen anything that will be strong enough right now. It's all nip and tuck right now, and let's get the word out and see what happens. Right. And they're searching around right now to see what people's ideas are and how they would lean and stuff.
Yeah,
which is good. They got to search around before they start these big committals.
So, and then one last question for you: Would you support President Trump?
I really don't know right now. I'll tell you the God's honest truth.
All right.
Because I have to see what direction this man's going into himself, and what Pence is going to do, and what DeSantis is going to do. And this is, you really got to sit back and listen to everybody who wants to run.
Right.
And you got to give them all a fair shot.
Fair enough. All right. That is the Cordelia way. I like it.
Okay.
Thank you, Cordelia.
And have a good day.
You do the same. Cordelia's not showing her cards right now.
No.
Very strategic in the way that she presents. After all, we still don't know officially who won the 22nd Congressional District, right? House of Representatives.
Well, you said the 22nd? Again, it's been declared by some.
I think it's pretty much there, but it's not official. And I cannot see Knoll overtaking Brandon Williams after the count. We talked about it last hour, but Del Conte, Judge Del Conte in the state Supreme Court will be making a ruling today that could delay that process. We'll see what happens, but that decision will come at some point, probably this morning.
I've got some information here from an insider, and it's about the signature challenges and the affidavits and all that stuff. I'll save it till after Dr. Hall, but you got to hear this.
All right, we'll get into it coming up, and I have some other people piping in on it as well. We'll do that. Dr. Hall is coming right up. Your dreams begin at Adirondack Bank with a mortgage that's tailored for your needs. Mortgage options that are suited to whatever your situation is. Fixed conventional mortgages, construction, FHA, VA mortgages, second-time vacation home, investment property, camp financing program, USDA rural housing loans. All there at Adirondack Bank, whether it's your first home or a refinance, or if you're downsizing, upsizing, going along with a lateral move. I don't know what you're doing, but I do know this. Adirondack Bank has the perfect mortgage for you. It's a local bank making local decisions. Start online at adkbank.com for the mortgage that's perfect for you. Adirondack Bank, member FDIC.
Now through 9 p.m. Thursday, stock up for Thanksgiving and save big during the case sale at Bremer's Wine and Liquor. Mix and match your own case of wine and save an unbelievable 20%. That's right. Choose any wine, create your perfect case, and get a 20% discount. Save on any 12 750 milliliter bottles of wine. Save on any 6 1.5-liter bottles of wine. If you drink it, if you love it, you can save 20% on it now during Bremer's Case Sale. Plus, you can save throughout the store with everyday low pricing on our boxed wine. And we've made shopping easy and convenient. Place your order online at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Request delivery and we'll bring your order right to your home. Or choose in-store pickup, and when you get to Bremer's, we'll bring your order right out to your car. If you love it, we've got it. Make your own case and save 20%. But it all ends at 9 p.m. Thursday. Stop in and save at Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Discover the difference that comes from a financial partner committed to building better tomorrows. I'm Jim McGuire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Utica. As a provider of trusted financial services in Utica, Baird is committed to making the future brighter for you and for our community. That's why we support local organizations like the Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida counties and the Capitol Theater in Rome, because we care about Utica. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdUtica.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
$7:29 coming up. We'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Dr. Kent Hall is standing by on the line right now. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Wonderful. Let's talk about, if we could, this, let me see if I get it right. RSV is respiratory syncytial virus. Did I pronounce it right or did I butcher it?
No, you were spot on. Congratulations.
Wow. That's crazy. All right. This thing is not only affecting children, but I'm beginning to hear from people who have contracted it and are having a very difficult time, who maybe are a little bit older, and certainly those who might be considered heading towards that elderly status.
Yes, so it is definitely worst for kids, especially kids under the age of 2. However, you're also exactly right. At older adults can get respiratory syncytial virus, and if you have underlying conditions, especially lung problems, immune problems, and diabetes and things like that, then you can actually become quite sick with it as well.
Okay, so the key is, right, constantly making sure you're very carefully washing your hands, try not to touch your face, all the stuff that we were told during COVID.
Yeah, again, exactly right. This is a virus that is spread predominantly through a respiratory pattern, which means that, as long as you are covering your coughs and sneezes, if you're not feeling well, staying away from people, and things like that, then that really is best. Unlike COVID, it does have a component of transmission based on contact. So it has been found that it can live on surfaces, mostly soft surfaces, so things like washcloths and things like that. It tends to last longer on than on harder surfaces. So that's why washing your hands, making sure that the surfaces are clean, is another way to limit its transmission.
Okay. And no vaccine for this?
No vaccine. They are in the process of developing some. I know there's at least one company. There's probably more than one, but there's one that I know of that is in the process of developing it, but there is none available at this time.
Okay. All right. What are you seeing on the flu?
So the flu, so we're not seeing a huge amount in terms of patients being admitted with the flu, but I will tell you that across New York State, the patients that are contracting the flu and testing positive for it, the trajectory for that is very high. We are at a higher level at this time of year than we have been in the last decade or more. I will tell you that from an inpatient standpoint, so far, knock wood, but so far, we are not seeing a large number of people being admitted with the flu. Going back to RSV, as of yesterday in the Mohawk Valley Health System, we had 6 patients that were admitted for RSV. 4 were kids and 2 were adults.
Wow. And on COVID, you know, the World Health Organization has said that COVID is almost gone, although we still see it and you still see people contracting it. It still shuts down offices. It still causes an issue. But for the most part, they're claiming we're in a good place right now.
Yeah, we are. It's going from a pandemic to an endemic, which is kind of like what the flu is. You know, as of yesterday, we had 15 patients in the health system that were in the health system because of COVID. So that's actually a pretty good number. We are watching closely these new subvariants that have now become dominant across the United States that tend to do a better job of evading the immune system, and so we are watching that. But at this time, we're doing well. Now, we're heading into the holidays, and people like to get together in the holidays, so it isn't that all bets are off. It's that we just need to be careful.
All right, let me ask you, can I ask you a personal question? And you got to be honest. Dude, when every once in a while I get a rumor, a credible rumor, and instead of calling you in advance and giving you a heads up, I ask you on the air. Do you hate that when I do it?
No, I think that's
okay.
fine. I come on to be honest and to answer questions to the best of my ability, and that's what I'm here for.
All right.
So,
and
no, I don't mind that at all.
And I want people to know that it's not that I don't call you up and give you a warning. Hey, I'm going to hit you with this one. So make sure you prep and answer. I always think that it's important to be authentic here, and so this is what I've heard. Another one of my rumors. Okay. So I have a friend who might be in the car parking business, which is not all that prevalent around here, by the way. However, he said, heads up, we've got a big valet parking set up at the hospital coming up. We're doing all sorts of valet parking. Something big is happening. What do you know, Doc, and what can you tell us?
So I don't know a lot about that. I know we're having conversations about having some valet parking, but I honestly, I will admit to you that I'm not in those conversations, so I don't know where they stand. I've heard that more at a very high level, so I can't give you specifics. I do know that there's a conversation about it. So.
Well, he implied, I say he, now I'm starting to give it away, you'll know who the person is. He is implying that it's an event that's going to be happening very soon, which is why there's valet parking, as opposed to saying that the hospital will begin to offer valet parking.
I see.
See what I'm saying?
I don't know of any events that are scheduled. Well, no, I take that back. There is an event that's actually scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning, which is a tour and a question and answer period. I don't know of any other big events that are scheduled down at the new hospital site that I'm aware of. I don't know of them. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying that I'm not aware.
So maybe that's the event where they have certain valet parking just to make it easier for people. That is certainly possible. Or, Doc, they're having a big event and they left you out.
It's a surprise birthday party for Dr.
It might be,
Hall
and I
in
just
the
blew
hospital.
it.
We just blew it.
I hope your birthday's not today. Oh, boy.
No, my birthday was actually about a month ago, but thank you.
Well, happy belated birthday. As always, we appreciate your candor. Doc, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Please stay safe and stay warm. It's going to be cold.
Thanks, Doc. You too.
It is back to that upstate New York winter weather, at least in the next 24 hours.
You know, a great way to surprise somebody for the birthday is to wait a month later And then throw the party.
That is true. Maybe that's it.
Never
And
saw
I'm
it coming.
Blowing the surprise. I hope I'm not doing that. All right, a lot of people piping in on this this count for Brandon Williams and the election count and what they want to, what they want President Trump to do. There is an announcement expected tonight at Mar-a-Lago, and it is expected that Trump is going to announce that he will run for president once again.
And I've got some insider info on these recounts.
Love the insider stuff.
You'll find it interesting.
We'll get to that coming right up. Also, Hobaika's free money question of the day. Davey, we're not going to screw around here. Caller number
7.
Caller 7 right now. And I believe we're on a trend of giving money away like crazy. And I believe that will continue here this morning. Let's see what happens. Okay. Caller 7 right now, 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
At AmeriQ Credit Union, we believe real connections matter, today more than ever. Whether it's connecting you to the right solutions to achieve your goals, new technology to make banking easier, or a real person to help you succeed, we'll be here. In person, online, or anywhere in between. Creating meaningful connections that make you feel like you belong. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
At the United States Postal Service, we're here to deliver fast and reliable service to help you get holiday ready. We offer free package pickup and deliver free shipping supplies to your address. So whether you're in Garland, Texas, Rudolph, Wisconsin, or anywhere in between, we're making it easier for you to spread festive cheer this holiday season. USPS, delivering for America. For all your holiday needs, including info about free shipping supplies, free package pickup availability and restrictions, go to USPS.com/holidays.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Jovanon with Dental Arts. Our busy dental practice is currently looking to fill several full-time positions in our Utica office. We're seeking dedicated, experienced dental assistants to join our fun, hardworking team. We offer a competitive benefits package and the opportunity to elevate your career. Compensation is experience-based, but paid training is available. If you are reliable and enjoy working with people, we'd love to talk to you. We're seeking dedicated dental assistants to join our fun, hardworking team. Apply today on Facebook or at dentalarts.org. That's dentalarts.org. Dental Arts, we are looking for your help to create masterpieces, one smile at a time.
Happy holidays!
Before you know it, the holidays will be here. Family and friends will be stopping by.
Let Sarah's Flooring Outlet get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% on select carpet.
Carpeting provides warmth and comfort unlike any other flooring.
And now you get up to 30% off select carpeting at Sarah's.
Plus, Sarah's will have your new flooring ready for the holidays.
You want to shop where the selection is second to none, where the prices are the best, and where the service is great.
Get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% at Sarah's.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet, where a specialist will always take care of your project from start to finish.
Let Sarah's Flooring Outlet get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% on select carpet.
Sarah's will have your new flooring ready for the holidays.
See why more people buy from the big store. In the Route 49 Plaza on River Road, Marcy, and online at InSarah'sFlooringOutlet.com.
You want me to do a little? Yeah, I can do this. Sure. I'm always happy to talk about Daylight Donuts coffee and the espresso, which keeps me up each and every day. I mean, I get home by 11 o'clock to do more work. Such a long day. And you add that espresso, I'm usually doing 2 or 3, maybe 4 things at once. It keeps you moving. It's Seattle's best coffee. It's delicious. Manaski enjoys it pure, black.
I do.
Don't add any cream, no sugar, none of that. That's the way you like your coffee. Others may enjoy the lattes, coming in more than 14, 15 flavors, including pumpkin spice. And Thanksgiving dinner is coming up. Do you have your snowflake rolls ordered? The most delicious melt-in-your-mouth dinner rolls that you can get. And order them by the dozen. Thanksgiving Day, you come in through the drive-thru, and they are yours. They are delicious. I take them to Thanksgiving dinner every year and tell my mother I made them. It works really well, Davey. It's Daylight Donuts, the best coffee, fast drive-thru. Chuck Sedella and everybody. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, a little breaking news here. The Associated Press has now declared Brandon Williams the House winner in the race for the 22nd Congressional District. AP now calling Brandon Williams the winner, joining Fox News and the New York Times, who have also said that Williams will win. I think that number we gave earlier this morning that Del Conte is going over is about 800 affidavit ballots, Jeff. I think that's it. I think that's all that's left. It would not be enough to change the current result, which is a couple thousand vote lead by Brandon Williams.
Well, but there's also a count still going on in Oneida County.
Stand by. We'll get to that coming up. Let me go to Carol right now in Utica, who's ready to take a shot at winning Hobica's dough here this morning. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, Bill.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This is something we have given the answer to this morning. I love these. So the answer's out there. We've already talked about it. So here's your question. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield have gone into business together selling edibles. What do they call them? Ready, go. What do they call them?
I don't know. Pretzels.
All right. So you didn't hear it earlier this morning. It's a take on their gummies and their marijuana gummies.
Oh, gummy. Oh,
yeah. But they call them holy ears.
This is the stupidest name.
Dumb, yes. Because you remember when Tyson tried to bite off Holyfield's ear and actually did get a chunk of it.
Yeah. A long time ago.
Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to give you a table for 6 at Fat Cats Comedy Club. Any show this weekend. Davey will take care of you. Also, the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun Card. You can get this at any of the Comets games, at Babe's, at Taylor and the Cook. It's good at Babe's, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, and any of the Adirondack Bank concessions. So you could go to a game and use this card to get a hot dog and a drink or something. And it's called the All-in-One Food and Fun Card. It's a $25 gift card for you. And all that is yours. Stand by. Davey's going to tell you how you get it all, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Carol. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Dumbest name ever, though, right? I think they must have been high when they came up with the name.
I was just going to say that.
Right?
I was just going to say that.
Associated Press is saying that Brandon Williams is the projected winner in NY22. That is a huge upset.
It is. It's funny because we've talked to, I believe, 2 correspondents from Fox, both Smells and Powers, both questioned us because they had it down as a Republican-leaning.
Democrat-leaning.
No, but they had it.
They had it as Republican.
Yeah, and they've asked us, we had it down as.
Right.
Right?
No, correct. That 22nd it was a Republican leaning, but after redistricting, it leans Democrat. And Syracuse, actually, you know what did this? Syracuse had Onondaga, and Syracuse specifically, had a low voter turnout.
Interesting.
So they were not enthused by this race. So they were not enthused by Francis Cannole. That is very interesting because most of the campaigning he did, I believe, was in Syracuse. But turnout was lower in Syracuse. And that would be what we would need So if we had a candidate from here that was running, is it possible that candidate could have won? This is the first time in a long time our representative in the 22nd or whichever district we have to represent us, whether you're from Herkimer County or Oneida County, Madison County, is not from here.
Right. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yep.
And the congressperson who was from here is still in Congress, just in another place.
Just in another place, who's really not been around here because she's been doing her campaigning out there. She, by the way, has won easily in that district out near Oswego. All right, what do we have there, Manaski? I have comments as well, all on NY22.
All right, this is going to be a little bit longer. Bear with me, though, but this is somebody with inside information who's been through this process before and understands the ins and outs, okay? So here we go. Absentee ballot challenges to signatures are a real thing, and they are nuanced. We have available to us the signatures that are on file at the local Board of Elections, and we attempt to match those signatures to the ones submitted by the voter on the absentee ballot. Lawyers for the campaigns later argue any challenges in front of a judge. Why do we challenge the signatures? Because sometimes there are legitimate questions as to whether someone has signed on behalf of someone else. For instance, a mother signing for a daughter who's away at college. It isn't uncommon to see a younger person signs their name sloppily, quickly, and the parent, listed just above the voter file, signs very cleanly. The absentee ballot signatures can appear clean. We therefore challenge it because it doesn't match up exactly as it does on the voter roll. It's not for us to determine whether someone submitted the ballot themselves, someone submitted it on their behalf in good faith, for instance, like an elderly relative who can't sign anymore, or if someone submitted it illegally by voting illegally for someone else. In those latter two cases, it is impermissible and should therefore be rejected. But as he says, as a member of the campaign, it's not our job to determine. We just put the challenge in, and then a judge or somebody else makes that determination. He says another thing to consider for other campaigns, rejected absentee ballots are rejected for all races. This was the thing I found interesting. So not just the race that questioned it. It is the state Senate campaigns that are arguing over ballots in Onondaga and Oswego counties. Rejection of those ballots could have an impact on other races.
So what they're arguing over is they want the candidates and members of the candidates' team to be witness to the count. But those boards of election have decided that it's only Board of Election members on both the Republican and Democratic side who will be there during the count. That's what the argument is over and what Judge Delcani will make a decision on later today. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, so I found that very interesting. I appreciate the information.
And that would delay the whole process. However, does it really matter? Because everybody is now to the point where they are projecting Brandon Williams as the winner. AP is usually a pretty good authority. Yeah. When AP calls a race, it's pretty much a given.
I completely agree.
Yeah, except for that time that they said Dewey had won, and that just completely.
Well,
that might have been AP.
Did AP call it for Gore? Who called it for Gore, and then ultimately it was overturned, right?
I don't remember back then. I guess you could have had some of that on the network shows and all of that, but I don't know the answer to that. I do have some people commenting. Has Jim Zecca commented on any of this?
No. What did he send me? He did send me something. Oh no, it was just a screenshot of the AP announcing.
All right, I have somebody here. Jim Zecca is ridiculous. He and his group are because I'd love to talk to Jim about his feeling about his constitutional caucus, which lost in every race. It lost in trying to win chairmanship in the county Republican Party. Each and every step of the way they have lost. Is it time to move on from that? Jim Zecca, this person says, is ridiculous. He says he and his group are actually going ahead and appealing Judge Delcani's dismissal of their complaint against the Oneida County Republican leadership. It was dismissed because they didn't follow filing deadlines, and because it wasn't the proper filing, it's black and white. They were told by several people that they will lose, and the response is they're using it to get their message out. What message? That they are incompetent? This would be an abuse of the judicial process, says this person. Bottom line, judges can make good decisions whether or not you like it. Delcani is a decent person, a decent judge. You can't say, and by the way, he's the one that ruled, and there were a lot of Democrats that hated it, that they were to stop counting at this point, And ballots that were in question were going to be dismissed, and Claudia Tenney won the 22nd. Bottom line is judges can make good decisions whether or not you like it. Del Conte is a decent person. You can't say how he will rule based on his party enrollment. He was a Republican before he was a Democrat. And also, they're using an attorney to advise them that can't pass the bar exam or practice. This person constantly asking for help. All you got to do is read election law. It's not hard. This is incompetence, Jim Zecca.
Well, wait, but why is Jim taking the brunt of this? He's not the lawyer.
He is a part of the leadership that's moving forward on this appeal. And what this person is saying is, the appeal is a joke. You're going nowhere. Why are you even doing it?
Yeah,
and Zecca's saying, I'm doing it to be able to get our message out. And as this person says, what message? Your incompetence? So I'd like to give Jim a chance to respond to that. Liberal Lou.
I was going to say, I'm glad he's on because I need to take a break. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Hello,
all right?
Liberal Lou. Good morning. Good morning.
I got questions for you. Don't leave.
Good morning, Lou.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good morning. So, yeah, I'm actually calling about the Keystone Pipeline.
Well, first of all, if you notice, listen, this is where I get myself in trouble, Lou, and it's probably because of you. I like to call things as they are on both sides. Mm. And when we get a guest in that's saying, that's when I throw out a question like, we're talking about the oil guest, and he's saying, let me tell you, these policies have just destroyed. This is why gas prices are higher. Technically, that's not true. And we go back to this whole thing about when the refineries went down, because he was citing refineries. So I asked him the question, how long would it take for refineries to get back up and operational? And his answer was years.
Right.
I mean, and it was when oil went down below $50 a barrel, down to 30 some odd dollars a barrel, that it wasn't profitable for these refineries to continue to operation. They went out of business. But that happened.
Huge issue.
It is a big issue, but that happened back before Biden. So it's very difficult for no, the refineries.
So listen to you and me. I mean, really.
Don't put me in your boat. Come on.
Easy in this day and age. Just Google it. So I just Googled fact check. Did Keystone Oil Pipeline increase, the lack of the pipeline increase gas prices? And boom, half a dozen fact checkers come up. So, my favorite is PolitiFact.com. So let me read you a little bit of what they had to say. First of all, the
the pipeline
administration and the Trump administration both had their departments of energy look into the Keystone Oil Pipeline as far as would it lower the price of gasoline in America. Both of those energy departments said no, it would not. Secondarily, all that oil is known to it's going to go from Canada to our refineries down south and be shipped over to Europe.
Here's the part of this, Lou.
In fact, Senator Markey, Democrat, Massachusetts, put a rider on. This is after Trump okayed the pipeline. He put a rider on that saying that all that oil must be used in the United States. The Republican Senate blocked that rider because they knew the oil wasn't even coming here. But
the problem, and really, what the Keystone Pipeline is it? Okay, go ahead. But
this is from a guy named Patrick Hahn.
Okay.
He's the head of petroleum analysis for Gas Buddy. I use Gas Buddy. I don't know if you guys do.
We do that too. It's bipartisan, Gas Buddy.
Legitimate outfit. So here's what he says. The pipeline shutdown has absolutely nothing to do with gas prices. Prices are higher because production has lagged behind, not because there isn't enough pipeline capacity. There is more than enough pipeline capacity. So PolitiFact.com and all these other fact checks say this is false.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, and I know that is true, and the other part of this is the Keystone Pipeline would just extend it down further, where it would then go into trucks and then be delivered even further. This whole thing is a political argument. However,
they built part of the pipeline that was completed under Obama.
However, listen to me. Listen to this. The real fact, though, is it did. I mean, Biden closing the door on the pipeline did cost jobs. I mean, there's no doubt about.
Cost jobs, yeah, but not a lot of jobs.
Well,
listen, there are other people who don't want the pipeline. The farmers.
Well, that's the other part. This is like the Ava landfill. Imagine that. You remember?
The problem with that
He's still
pipeline
going.
is it's tar sands oil. It's 3 times as corrosive as regular oil, and it has 3 times as many spills.
Well, but my point though is that in addition to Biden coming in, you had under Trump you had local farmers and landowners that were fighting this. Very similar to what we saw with Ava, right? We all want a pipeline, but I don't want that pipeline going through my property.
Right. Well, why would you? It's 3 times as corrosive, and it's got much more carbon. I mean, you get these guests on. I hear them on a lot. Who's signing their paycheck? Is it coming from Exxon, the Koch brothers? I mean, you had a guest on yesterday. He mentioned the Manhattan Institute and their analysis. That institute is funded by the Koch brothers and Exxon. They're 2 of the major funders, and they've been spending billions of dollars over the last 3 years to get people to lie about global warming.
Okay, so basically what we're saying, though, is that the United States energy policy
Jeff talk.
does not impact prices at all, correct? Is what we're saying?
The Keystone Oil Pipeline does not impact.
No. Hold on. Because it's more than the Keystone Oil Pipeline.
Here's the problem.
Lou, how can I even ask you a question?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is what you're saying that the United, and not beyond the pipeline, the United States energy policy does not impact the price of whether it's gas or energy, electricity, whatever it might be?
No, I never said that. We're just talking about the pipeline. That was what you guessed earlier.
However, let me just say, though, that presidents for years have been trying to manipulate gas prices and bring them down prior to an election. And that includes President Bush. And it is not, this is a very complicated process.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, and it's not as simple as policy alone. It is a worldwide issue that is, now, again, shutting down that pipeline certainly didn't help, and shutting down that pipeline didn't add more jobs. It took away jobs, but as for it causing the high gas prices we're looking at today,
there's no question it didn't cause it, but it certainly contributes to it.
No.
I don't believe it contributes to it, Jeff, at all.
It doesn't contribute at all?
No, not gas prices. It contributes to jobs and could very well affect economies in those regions, but it does not, I'm telling you, affect gas prices, especially when we don't have the refineries right now to refine the oil that ends up getting delivered. It's going to have to be shipped overseas anyway.
Get ready for a huge recession then, because this is never going to change.
That's coming, too. But we can get into that. Lou, thank you. And
it'll be Trump's fault, definitely, even though he's not in office.
I didn't say that, but you
I
did.
know.
I got a break. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 8 o'clock.
They just need one more. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. One more House win, and Republicans will take the majority with 13 races still undecided. Today, House Republicans hold leadership elections.
We're going to have a robust debate.
And Congressman Chip Roy tells Fox Kevin McCarthy could be in line to be the next speaker.
Leader McCarthy will probably get the nomination in a majority vote among Republicans. But here's what will be very clear, is that he nor no one has 218 votes.
The full House chooses the Speaker in January, and if the GOP is in power, it won't be Nancy Pelosi anymore. Former President Trump has upset the Democrat-led House committee investigating last year's Capitol riot, refusing to show up yesterday, ignoring their subpoena. Committee leaders say
the lawsuit from the former president pushes claims recently rejected by the courts. The joint statement accuses former President Trump of seeking to overturn the 2020 election and block the transfer of power. The statement says legal next steps are being evaluated.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Tonight, Donald Trump is expected to announce he's running for president again. In Arizona, Democrat Katie Hobbs has won the governor's race, narrowly beating Republican Kari Lake, who's not conceding a thing, telling Fox.
How do you certify an election that is this botched?
At the summit of G20 nations, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed world leaders via video, urging them to do more to stop Russia's invasion. They are considering a declaration to deplore Russia's aggression, though acknowledging not all members agree. Fox's Peter Ducey is at the summit in Indonesia.
President Biden is missing the G20 leaders' dinner. He is supposed to be at a supper right now. Yesterday, we did hear President Biden tell us that he had a cold.
The president did take part in meetings today, pledging more U.S. investment fighting climate change. The world is getting more crowded. The UN projects the global population will reach 8 billion people today. America's listening to Fox News.
Democrats say that high inflation would go away after the Fed's rate hikes, but month after month, the numbers prove nothing has changed. In fact, food and housing prices are still going higher. Meanwhile, Biden is still finding ways to print more dollars. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to take action to protect your savings from inflation. How? By diversifying your current retirement funds into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, simply text the word PROTECT to 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This 20-page guide will answer all your questions about using gold in your retirement account. This is the best way to stop your purchasing power from being stolen by Democrats like Joe Biden. So text PROTECT to the number 989898. That's PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 29 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. We have a winter weather advisory in effect from 6 p.m. tonight until 1 tomorrow afternoon. A closer look at that forecast is coming up in just a few minutes. Well, several media outlets now reporting at Republican Brandon Williams defeating Democrat Francis Knoll in New York's 22nd Congressional District. It was the race to succeed outgoing Republican John Katko. He represented the Syracuse area prior to redistricting. The 22nd District included the merger of part of the Syracuse area, part of this Utica-Rome area. Knoll first ran for the seat 2 years ago against Katko, but was unsuccessful. Again, many media outlets reporting this morning Republican Brandon Williams officially the winner of the 22nd Congressional District. Utica School Board member and 2023 mayoral candidate Robert Cardillo speaking on Keeler this week about the weapons detection system installed at Proctor High School. He says it was not calibrated to detect knives during the student stabbing incident that occurred on Halloween. On October 31st, a 17-year-old Proctor student attacked an 18-year-old student, allegedly stabbing him several times with a knife. Police say that student, whose name has not been released, faces multiple charges. The Evolve weapons detection system was installed in all Utica schools over the summer. It cost the district about $400,000. Again, school board member Bob Cardillo saying it's now been recalibrated to detect smaller weapons like pocket knives. A Madison County man in some legal trouble after being accused of firing off a flare gun inside of a bar. 39-year-old Joshua Brayton of Chittenango was allegedly at the Crossroads Tavern when he began fighting with other customers, then fired a flare gun and hit a person before leaving.
A flare gun?
A flare gun. He was later pulled over. Officers say they found a 12-gauge shotgun, ammunition, and the flare gun in the vehicle. He faces several charges. Governor Kathy Hochul finishing up her latest upstate visit. She was in Buffalo commemorating the 6-month anniversary of the mass shooting at the Tops. Yesterday, the governor said people in the area will continue to come together and forge a path forward. In her efforts to help Buffalo recover, the governor announced a multi-million-dollar investment to fund several projects across the city's downtown. She previously joined local officials to outline plans for a permanent memorial to honor those victims and serve as a place of reflection. And have you seen it? Well, you should. There's a home in Rome that magically transforms during the holiday season into Santa's village. Just like the Grinch's heart, this holiday display is growing and growing and growing. It's located on Canterbury Hill Road, and it's a holiday experience you should check out. You can drive by the home. I believe they do tours as well. Sam Krager and his wife Arlene put a ton of time and effort into this. They've got Santa's office, the front porch, Santa's workshop, a display about the quote-unquote true meaning of the season, a reindeer stable, and a 20-foot snowman. You can check out photos if you'd like to get the address and go visit it for yourself, or you can just check them out on our website at WIBX950.com. Your Weather Center forecast has a winter weather advisory in effect from 6 this evening until 1 tomorrow afternoon. Bill, we're going to see some mixed precipitation over the next 24 hours, and it's going to mean some slippery, sloppy conditions if you're out on the roads. Today, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. Snow showers begin tonight around 6, 7 o'clock. Snow mixing with some rain and freezing rain through the overnight tonight, a low of 30 degrees. We could see 2 inches of snow accumulation. Wednesday, we begin the day with rain, snow, and freezing rain mixing. Again, it could be a messy commute tomorrow. We'll warm it up to 42 by the afternoon with mostly cloudy skies. Thursday, more snow showers likely, possibly mixing with rain again. We're at that time of year. Rain and snow mixing early, then rain in the afternoon, a high on Thursday of 38 degrees. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 29. It's 8:07. Here's Keeler with sports.
Alrighty, last night, if you stayed up late, I did. Holy, I'm going to pay for it. But last night, the Philadelphia Eagles had their first loss of the season. The Eagles suffered their first, and I thought they were coming back. I mean, I really thought they were coming back. The Eagles suffered their first loss of the season last night as the Washington Commanders upset their divisional rivals 32-21 in Philadelphia. The Eagles rallied 24-14 at the half after Joey Sly nailed a 58-yard field goal. Washington, 2 minutes left in the game, helped seal the victory. There was a lot of talk last night. About that's not the way, because it was kind of a questionable call. I felt. I mean, it was one of those. Was it, Davey? You didn't watch it either. Was it the? I forgot. I was probably dozing off. But I felt like it was a questionable roughing call, a penalty, 15-yard penalty. Anyway, they called it. A lot of talk over. The ref should allow this game to end properly, but at the end of the day, it ended in crazy fashion with the hot ping.
Yes.
The ball ends up coming down inside the 5-yard line. Washington runs it in, scores a touchdown. Wow, the game ended. It was crazy. 8-1, by the way, is the Eagles' record right now. Miami fans all over are rejoicing today.
Yes. Christine Bellino is calling in today.
She is happy as a lark.
Celebrating.
Rookie of the Year, named by Major League Baseball in the American League. It is outfielder Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners. And in the National League, I hate the Braves. But it's Michael Harris.
This kid's really good, too. He's going to be like the next...
Michael Harris the second, by the way.
Andrew Jones, like a guy who for the next decade is, killing the Mets at every opportunity. I can see it happening.
NHL, 4 different skaters found the back of the net as the Islanders doubled up on the Senators, 4-2 in Ottawa. Tonight, the Devils visit the Canadiens. And, a member of the Rangers is being recognized for his performance over the last week. Defenseman Adam Fox named NHL's 3rd Star of the Week. The Knicks will visit the Jazz tonight. College basketball tonight. Syracuse plays Colgate tonight. That's a 7 o'clock game. Syracuse is now 1-0, and the game is broadcast on the Yes Network, right?
Yep, because it's the regional sports network that's going to be carrying it, so the Yes Network would have it.
And by the way,
7 o'clock.
Syracuse, I don't think got any votes in the top 25. Of course, they've only played one game. And a win here probably won't be all that monumental. And then they play Saturday again?
Yeah, against Northeastern at the Dome at 2, which I'll be there. And then they play in a tournament down at the Barclays Center during the next Tuesday and Wednesday.
And that'll be probably their toughest competition of the season.
And them games are on ESPN or ESPN2.
All right.
Well, and you say the toughest competition of the season, but really, I mean, in the ACC, you got North Carolina, you got Duke. When does conference play begin? Right around Christmas?
No, the toughest job of the season thus far.
Their first conference game is December
right
3rd against Notre Dame. So here's their next 4 games. Tonight, Colgate. Saturday against Northeastern. Then they play Richmond next Monday in the Empire Classic. And then they play Tuesday against either St. John's or Temple. Temple just came off a big victory, beating Villanova for the first time. And Villanova was ranked 12th, and they took a dump into the. They took a fall. I said dump. I didn't mean to say that. They
That's
took a
all
fall
right, Davey. That's
in the
disgusting.
AP. They took a fall in the AP top 25.
Okay.
Well, good. They got their win over a Goliath, if you will, last week. So they don't need to do it against Syracuse.
Syracuse going 6-0 in football, and now what are we now? 6-4?
Is it 6-3 or 6-4?
6-4.
Four in a row they lost?
They've lost 4 in a row now, right, Davey?
I think they're 6-3.
They lost to Clemson, Notre Dame. They lost to Florida State.
Is there another in this? Are they 6-3? I don't know.
I think they're 6-4. They'll be 6-5 after this weekend if they don't play against Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And who knows about Boston College?
John says, "You people and your language." Okay. You should use myself and not me. For instance, what did we say? Did somebody say something?
I don't know what I said.
Davey,
Syracuse is 6-4.
You can after the show ask Jeff or myself who said it incorrectly, okay?
Okay.
Was it myself?
That is incorrect, by the way. It should be you
right.
ask Jeff or me. It should be me, not myself.
Correct. That's an often misused.
The only time you should really use myself, I would think, is when you're, I can, for instance, I know a lot of people don't realize this, but in the morning, I'm able to dress myself. That's proper.
Yes.
Otherwise, don't use myself.
Yeah.
Who did it? Which one of us did it? I don't remember doing it at all. Must have been Manaski.
Well, I just remember you and I kind of giving each other the look as we occasionally do. When somebody was at a podium saying,
we give each other the grammatical look.
Yes. And it was the old, listen, any questions, just contact myself, and we'll take care of it. And it was, wow, contact myself?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to, me?
Right. Me would be okay. In fact, it's even proper. Okay. Actually, the word me is so used and so proper that if you remember the Lone Ranger, oftentimes during the Lone Ranger, me go too. That was one of the lines, I believe. And I'm pretty sure.
And that's on in my house every Saturday afternoon.
Davey
my
knows
mom
it.
watches that Lone Ranger for 2 hours straight. She loves that
and
show.
That's where, Davey, you get all your grammar right there, right from the Lone Ranger. All right, we're going to break. Hold on tight. We're going nowhere. It's 8:14 at WIBX.
Which room is next for you? The bedroom? Your kitchen? The living room? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. What's holding back that next home project? Is it budget? We have flooring choices for any budget and financing options available. Maybe it's inspiration. If so, come and talk to our experienced design team. We're here to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're putting off redoing a room because you're worried about spills and accidents. Whether it's a pet in training or a growing family, we have flooring solutions that can withstand anything life has to throw at it. We have incredibly durable tile options and 100% water-resistant carpeting that's both beautiful and practical. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Modern Healthcare ranked Nescentia the number 31 best place to work and third healthiest place to work in the healthcare industry nationwide. We all want to stay in our own homes as we age. Nescentia Health makes that a reality, providing tomorrow's healthcare today.
As they age, it's important for your parents to maintain their independence. But they can't do it all like they once used to, and in this digital world, it's easy to forget things like paying an important bill. That's where Silver Bills can help. Just dial 1-855-589-5265 to learn more about our unique service that will work with you and take over the tedious task of paying your parents' bills. Silver Bills provides a dedicated U.S.-based professional account manager who will receive, scrutinize, store, and make sure bills are paid on time and correctly. You'll always reach a live person, so there's no need to have a computer background or be tech-savvy. We're fully insured, recommended by AARP, and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, so you'll have more time for quality visits and less time for stress and worry. Peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call Silver Bills now at 1-855-589-5265 to receive 1 month of service free. That's 1-855-589-5265. Silver Bills, because time together is better than worry apart. 1-855-589-5265.
High-quality care comes from the compassionate, the courageous, the dedicated nurses and support staff of the Mohawk Valley Health System. Every day, the members of the MVHS team make a difference in our community's health. MVHS is looking for dedicated people to join this exceptional group of employees to care for our patients, residents, and their friends and family. We offer competitive pay, a generous benefit package, and many career options where you can grow. We've increased pay rates for critical jobs, offer reimbursement to become certified in select jobs, and provide sign-on bonuses for certain positions. And now, join the MVHS team and be part of an organization that takes care of our community. Visit careers.mvhealthsystem.org for more information. Mohawk Valley Health System. Unrivaled care, unrivaled careers. This is for you.
Every day at NBT Bank, we focus our business around all the ways we can help yours. We're large enough to offer leading business and digital solutions, but local enough to ensure personalized one-on-one service. So turn to NBT Bank for a full range of business solutions, like capital and treasury management services, even fraud protection, and see how NBT Bank is just the right size to help you do big things. Visit nbtbank.com to learn more and start a conversation. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
You want to know the worst jinx ever? We were just talking about Davey's like, so-and-so, I think they're going to be 10-0 by the time we're done here. Worst jinx ever happened to Davey. Sunday night. I'm flipping out during that the Bills game.
I was watching it at home, too.
I'm flipping out. My wife is like, you're going to wake up the neighborhood. Stop it. I'm like, trust me, they're all awake right now. Worst jinx ever. Bills are driving down the field. I said to my wife, I cannot believe we're going to win this game in overtime after we were so far. Bang. Interception in the end zone. Bills lose.
So I watched.
In mid-sentence. I was in the middle of saying it. And Josh Allen threw a perfect pass to the defender.
So I only watched the game up until the third quarter with my buddies and Jim Rondinelli. And I left to go home. And I haven't talked to Jim Rondinelli until last night. And I asked him, what did you think about the outcome of the game? He said, Smitty, I'm still disgusted with the way the Bills played.
Yeah, stunning. Stunning second half. There's good news, though, if you're Utica Pioneers, heading off to the NCAA tournament, and it's a big deal. Coach Fasciano on the line right now. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. How about that, huh?
That's huge. And by the way, do you believe in jinxing? Like this guy in Utica jinxed the. I mean, it's so foolish that we think that we've jinxed something.
Interesting, because Coach is going to tell you.
It's part of sports.
Everyone's
got their socks they wear, their T-shirts, their lucky hat. I got to be honest. In the second half of the Union game, we came back and won. I may have switched the hat. And it may have been the hat I've been wearing here on some of these games the last couple of weeks.
Understood. I get it. I mean, don't
but you know what?
Change anything.
No. But at the end of the day, obviously, I think there's a reason why we all love the game of football.
Yeah.
And, and there's why there's, like, so many cliches in football and, like, how any play, anything can happen. It's why we love the game.
Yeah.
It's why we love the game. And I know during all of that, we're so all that's going on with the Bills and the Vikings, and but we're in Pioneer Cafe, really living out a vision that we've had for years, which is being in the Pioneer Cafe, watching the NCAA selection show,
and waiting,
knowing that, and then all of a sudden, it was outstanding. The guys were just so excited to represent Go ahead. Sorry.
I saw a picture of that, and it looked so cool. And to see the orange and blue, the Pioneers experiencing that was awesome. Manansky.
Well, I was going to say that they were saying until Sunday, Utica's never been to the NCAA tournament. It's not going to happen. They've never been there. Well, it doesn't happen until it happens. The other thing, Coach, you can't let your players hear you talking about that, because when it comes down to 4th and goal, they're going to say, we don't have to push this line. We don't have to do anything. Coach has got his lucky boxers on. We're fine.
That's right.
We're fine.
Well, the funny, how you talk to the team and how they talk to each other is so important. Like, we're not getting on the bus going to St. John Fisher saying that we've never won at Fisher.
Right.
Because we had. Now, have we beaten them the last 4 years in a row? Yes. But because of COVID and scheduling, they've all been at Gaetano.
Right.
Now, my whole team, Nate Palmer has never played at St. John Fisher. John Strong never played at St. John Fisher, right? And so, and it was their senior day. They had 33 seniors, and they played out of their mind. And that's Empire 8 football.
Yeah.
So if anything, if there's ever a 9-1 team, I don't care who it is from our conference, they deserve to go to the tournament. And it's with people that are football fans. You watch the FBS and all the polls pick the 4, and it's very controversial. FCS has a tournament. Division II has a tournament. Division III is the hardest of all of them. You have 250 schools. You have a 32-team tournament.
Wow.
Only 5 are what are called Pool C in the entire country. So I knew all along, regardless of what everyone else thought, right? You can think someone's better than us.
Yep.
But we had the numbers. We had the numbers. And the numbers showed our strength of schedule was better. The Empire 8 has a great track record. And the funny part is the last Pool C team to go into the tournament was St. John Fisher. And they did it a few times when Salisbury was in our conference, which was a rough few years, because they're a very good team. And Salisbury pretty much owned the Empire 8 for 8 years.
Yeah.
But then Fisher not only would go, but they would win a couple rounds. So make some noise.
Right.
So all along, I knew we had a great shot, even though I don't care what the blog was.
Right.
They're all talking about Hopkins, and they want to talk about the Morrisville game, and that just fueled our guys even more. Like Utica against the world, guys. I love it.
Love that. Speaking with Coach Blaise Fagiano and the Division III tournament in football, Utica's a part of it. So explain the timeline of how this is all going to work.
So we'll leave on Friday, overnight trip. It's a 4 hours to Selland Grove, Pennsylvania. We're playing the Centennial champion, Susquehanna. They are 10-0. They won a lot of close games. They're a good football team. They've won a couple of bowl games. And, kind of similar to us where this is their first NCAA playoff bid in a while, but they've been a program on the rise.
Yep.
And the game's at noon Saturday in Pennsylvania. And they'll stream it live, through their university. So you'll be able to watch the game online if you don't make the trip out to PA.
Okay.
And and I tell you, the hardest part about going dancing is just getting invited. What I mean?
Right.
It's just getting invited. And I think now that we're in, I think it's going to be a great game. They're a great team. And but at the end of the day, I think the Empire 8's prepared us for this. The week in, week out battles that our guys have been through. And our tough non-league, right? And our non-league, we're playing Union, we're playing Western New England, we're playing good programs in our non-league. And I think my old college coach used to say, if you want to beat good people, you got to play good people. So
that's the toughness. The toughness of a schedule is so important when it comes to this. So this is a bracket. This is in a bracket. So forgive me if I ask stupid questions because I don't know how this completely works. You at some point though. You will still get a bowl game?
No,
okay.
The bowl game part is out.
This is out.
The bowl game is kind of if you don't make it to the tournament.
I see, in Division III. Okay.
Division III, then they have the bowl games. Correct.
Got it. So the idea here is
you just New York. There's a few bowl games in New York. Those ECAC games that we've played in those.
Yep.
Those will happen. That's just a one and done.
This, on the other hand, is stay alive, keep moving.
Yeah, like we go out and find a way to win the game. and then we wait and see, the result of Salisbury Mount Union, which is a really interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And Salisbury runs a triple option. It's the alma mater of my defensive coordinator, and if I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but if Salisbury were to beat Mount Union, then I believe Salisbury would come to Utica.
Oh, okay.
The way I believe. I'm not 100% on that because I wasn't on the 20. I'm on the national committee.
Yeah.
Right. And I got I had to get off the call when Utica came up on the board, and then because we were in the tournament, I wasn't part of the bracketing.
Okay.
But I believe that there is still a chance that depending on what would occur.
Wow. Could you imagine?
With a win Saturday, we'd be Sweet 16.
Wow.
It works.
So,
all right.
Is there a bus going out, a fan bus going out? Is there anything local fans can do to support you guys?
That's a great question, and I'm working on that today. I'm working on that.
Gotcha, Coach.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Working on that. I know our parents. I think all of our parents are doing that. They're going to get a bus, and I'm trying if we can to get a bus for like our players who can't go, cheerleaders, the herd, our student section, and then one thing that's tough for me is like, the NCAA, and not to pick on them here, but 58 in helmet and shoulder pads for the NCAA tournament, and like we typically play 65 or 70 guys in a game.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's one that's a kind of tough pill to swallow. That guys that have helped us get to this point, aren't going to be able to put their helmet and shoulder pads on.
Wow.
It's kind of tough.
Wow.
But they have their limits on that stuff. So yeah, but we'll leave Friday. We'll get on their field Friday afternoon, stay the night, and get up and kickoffs at noon.
Listen, I don't want to look too far forward, look past this weekend. However, could you imagine a Sweet 16 game played in Utica?
Wow.
It's funny. I actually I played in Selins Grove a long time ago.
Wow.
1991, Ithaca. Our national championship run, the semifinal game was there. Now, stadium didn't quite look, Amos Alonzo Stagg Field didn't quite look like it looks now. They got new stadium, press box, turf, and all that good stuff. But that was the last time I was in Selins Grove, which is pretty wild.
Hey, and again, this is just a coaching question, but how important is this to the program?
Oh, from from recruiting, recruiting and we've been on a rise, right? And everyone knows that we've been getting better, and now it's like, hey, we made the tournament. Like,
now it's coming to fruition.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Now I think the key is like now trying to, maintain that success, right? Really good programs maintain that success. And so last year we went to a bowl game. This year we're going to the tournament. These last 4 or 5 years in our program, we've been continuing to improve, and now we just got to work hard this week. And the guys have bought into the 1-0. Just got to go 1-0.
Yeah.
Watch the film, prepare, and I think it's really fun locally that Nate Palmer is like second in the nation in receiving yards, guys. Like,
wow.
He's up for AFCA All-American.
Wow.
He's up for the Gagliardi Trophy, which is like, D3 Heisman. Like, and here he is right here. VBS, nephew of head coach Gary Oliver. Doing great. He's having an unbelievable year, Nate. And our quarterback Braden Zanilovich is top in the country in statistics, as well as Jimmy Warren, our defensive end. So we got 3 guys that are like, nationally recognized guys, and it's always. I tell you what, in my time at Utica, I got to think in 15 years, I'd say the majority of them, at least one of our captains has been a local guy, which is awesome.
Yeah. So the best way to stream the game on Saturday is to just go to
I'd go right to ucpioneers.com.
Okay.
And our SID can have
link.
the link up there. Ticket information, being able to watch the game, you go right to ucpioneers.com.
Okay.
And, Adam Zabrowski will have that all up for you guys.
And by the way, one more quickie on logistics with this. Do you have to pay for the service, or will it be a free stream?
That's a good question. I think it's a free stream.
Okay. All right. We'll
I think
double.
all NCAA events, they make them a free stream.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, listen. This is enormous and awesome, Coach Fagiano. Congratulations to all of you, and let's get through this weekend.
Let's do it, guys. Fear the Moose. Thanks for having me on.
Right.
Great job, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what a year.
Yeah, what a year. How about that? And just think about what that does for the program. I mean, I asked the question, but I know the answer. When it comes to recruiting, just how much this program has grown over the course of the last 5 or 10 years. I mean, really in the last 5 years, how it's grown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the facility, too, has grown. I mean, that
Gaetano's
dome
great,
that they
yeah.
have over there, I mean, that plays a huge role in being able to come out and train all year long.
I've mentioned it before, but I worked here when the program first launched, and Smitty and I used to board op some Utica college football games, and there was a lot of, we'll be back after this. It's 56-0. The Pioneers getting blown out. I mean, they were launching a football program that didn't exist. It's the case anytime you launch a program that doesn't exist. You don't have recruits in the pipeline. You don't have coaches in the pipeline. You're starting from scratch, literally, and they've come so far.
And what was interesting was back in those times when we first introduced football and Utica was going with football, it was Coach Heenan that was bringing everybody around and bringing Coach Faziano around, right?
Yeah.
To introduce and say, hey, the success we've had, we're going to have that in football too. And they were right. Look at where we are. I mean, who would have thought they'd be tailgating out there at Gaetano before a game on a Saturday and the place would be packed? That's cool.
It's outstanding.
All right, today, a lot of people wondering what is going to happen with President Trump. Former President Donald Trump is unveiling new details about his special announcement at Mar-a-Lago later today. Jennifer Nassar on the line right now through Fox News, and she is the former chairwoman of the Massachusetts Republican Party. What do you think we're going to see here today, Jennifer?
Good morning. How are you? And thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
So, I guess I could be hopeful and say that he is trying to rally people to go help out in Georgia and campaign in the runoff. Or that he is coming out to say, hey, look, our red wave wasn't a wave, but, don't lose faith. And we're still up in the House. I don't know. I think that, he's either going to tease again that he's running in 2024 or he's going to come out, right out and announce it. I think that that's really what's going to happen.
What do you think I was trying to think about this morning and try to put myself in his head because, he's deflecting a lot right now, blaming Mitch McConnell, but he sat on a lot of money through the midterms and the places he went, he didn't get the victory that really maybe he would have gotten 2 years ago. So what does he have to lose personally by announcing that he's running? He gets to raise money, continue to raise money, rally after rally. Now he has an excuse to do it. And then he could always decide, I'm stepping down later on.
So first of all,
I didn't say
tried to put yourself into his head.
And Jennifer,
right?
that's a very good point. But let me just say, I didn't say what's best for the Republican Party. I said what's best for Donald Trump too.
Exactly, and that was going to be my second thing. My second thing was going to be, it's best for Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of us in the business are looking at is, look, your policies are great. They kept us safe. Our borders were controlled. The economy was great. Everything is in the tank right now. However, your time came and went. And I think that what we have seen in the United States at this point is that leadership by elderly men, regardless of how spry you seem at this point, is a thing of the past. We need a new generation of leaders. And what he should be doing is saying he is going to be working with the best of the best to, try to make sure that we go back to the Trump era policies or return the Republican Party, by the way, to our priorities and to our standards and to our values and core beliefs, which we have suddenly gone away from. And I think that it's a perfect time for a new generation of leaders to come out. I think that his statements against DeSantis, when DeSantis just won a phenomenal race against Charlie Crist in Florida, was a big mistake. He has no reason to go out and trash Republicans. And that's like, go back to Reagan. That's one of Reagan's principles, right? Don't speak bad of your fellow party member. And so I really, it's an unfortunate thing. Going back to what he has to lose, he has absolutely nothing to lose, right? And coming at this even if he was serious about running for president again, he already has the name recognition. He already has the money. And so why do you need to announce right now? You don't, unlike people who are coming from behind and say, oh, I don't know who that person is, or, I've only heard stories about them. He's already a known commodity. And so I think it's a really unfortunate point for the Republican Party, because right now we need to be getting our act together and figuring out how we're going to win in 2024 and put out good policy priorities in the House of Representatives that we now have.
These rallies have kind of become like a rock concert. Like, if I go to see Leonard Skinner and they don't play Freebird, I am not pleased. And that's exactly what we're dealing with here. He has to rip on people. He's got to make names up for DeSantis and everybody else. It's like you're going to see the greatest hits in concert.
Which is sad, because we saw this. Hey, by the way, and you're right. It's like the greatest hits, right? We saw this in 2015 with Lion Ted and, Tiny Marco and all the other things, all the other names that he calls everyone. And that's not where we need to be. The country is so rude and obnoxious and disrespectful. The last thing we need with our leaders is any more of that. We need someone who's going to say, we need to get our act together. You know what we need? We need someone who acts like a parent, right? Yeah. I'm going to put you in timeout. We're going to, here are my rules. Here's what we're going to do. Get in line and go behind me.
Yeah. It's a great way to put it. Sadly, that's what everybody thought Biden was going to be, right? And he's not there. He's not reaching that mark.
No, definitely not. I mean, inflation is almost twice what wages are. I'm a single mom. I know what it's like to have to try to put food on the table, pay the bills, put gas in the car, and do everything else and worry about this. This is actually real. And I think that's how I think a lot of folks were like me, who said, I'm paying attention to the economy. I'm paying attention to, is my family safe?
Right.
And crime on the streets in our major cities. And then Trump came out and said, hey, by the way, forget Chuck Grassley, forget J.D. Vance, pay attention to me. And I think a lot of people said, oh, wait a second, right? Yep. We New York, take, Lee Zeldin, for example. He looked like he was doing great, and crime in New York is terrible. Long Island, he killed it.
Yeah.
Other parts of the state, he killed it. It's just, and I think he took the messaging away from some really good candidates that were hitting the nail on the head for a lot of people.
Well, it is the first time that you're actually hearing people like yourself, and I don't want to say that it's the first time for you, but people saying, you know what, I'm kind of, after this, I'm kind of fed up, and let's move on to something else. We have a real opportunity here. Boy, it's early, too, because a lot can happen in 2 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very early, and I think we need some time after the midterms to just kind of settle down. And then let's see who's going to come out in 2023. I think it's going to be a really exciting election cycle. And I'd like to see some new names and faces out there.
All right. Jennifer Nassar, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day. Wouldn't it be something if he did come out today and he was like, you know what? Let's win this in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? Let's come together. All of us going to work together. We're going to beat the Democrats in Georgia. I mean, that would be that'd be what every other politician in the world would say.
All right, checking the odds, it is equally as likely that he comes out and says, let's focus on Georgia and win that race. It's equally as likely that he comes out and says, for the last 67 years, I have been Santa Claus. Believe me, every year, this time, I give all the children all the toys. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
And here's your gift.
Believe me.
I'm running. 8:40, going to be very, very interesting from Mar-a-Lago today. 8:40 at WIBX.
Nessentia Health honors all home care workers in November for National Home Care Month. With compassion, proficiency, and advanced technology, Nessentia Health provides the care you need where you want it most, at home. For exceptional in-home care, ask for Nessentia.
You can always find cheaper insurance on the internet, but what happens when you need to talk to someone after an accident? That's where Bonomo Insurance steps in. They're local and will be there when you need them. Bonomo Insurance will customize your plans to fit your lifestyle needs and values. With over 30 years in business, Tom Bonomo and the team at Bonomo Insurance know insurance and want to help you. Call them today at 315-736-1121 or online at bonomoins.com.
Hi, happy holidays.
Before you know it, the holidays will be here. Family and friends will be stopping by.
Let Sarah's Flooring Outlet get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% on select carpet.
Carpeting provides warmth and comfort unlike any other flooring.
And now you get up to 30% off select carpeting at Sarah's.
Plus, Sarah's will have your new flooring ready for the holidays.
You want to shop where the selection is second to none, where the prices are the best, and where the service is great.
Get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% at Sarah's.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet, where a specialist will always take care of your project from start to finish.
Let Sarah's Flooring Outlet get your home ready for the holidays and save up to 30% on select carpet.
Sarah's will have your new flooring ready for the holidays.
See why more people buy from the big store. In the Route 49 Plaza on River Road, Marcy, and online at insarasflooringoutlet.com.
Yeah, we're replacing the carpets too, so don't worry about that.
No fresh powder yet, but Dan's Ski Lodge has an avalanche of projects.
Those 4 rooms are getting hot tubs.
He needs a staff engineer to navigate a flurry of new requests.
And all of those will be fully ADA accessible.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants you to fall in love with your home again. With their timeless design and incredible craftsmanship, their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces and new Amish pieces to top designers, Adirondack Home Furniture has what you want. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just need some pieces to get your home ready for the holidays, Adirondack Home Furniture has that perfect piece. With a fully stocked showroom and the best prices of the season, you need to stop in today. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and get your home ready for the holidays. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
During the season of giving, it can be dangerously easy to give away more than you want.
Sweater for Mom, video game for Jake, and my credit card for someone named Gina?
More online activity can mean more exposed personal info, but LifeLock by Norton has identity theft protection all wrapped up. And if you become a victim, we'll work to fix it on your behalf. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Modern Healthcare ranked Nescentia the number 31 best place to work and 3rd healthiest place to work in the healthcare industry nationwide. We all want to stay in our own homes as we age. Nescentia Health makes that a reality, providing tomorrow's healthcare today.
Hey, I want to talk about this weekend and Thanksgiving coming up. You know what would be really, really cool for Thanksgiving is if you're doing the cooking, or maybe you're going to where the cooking is being done for you. Either way. To go and their artisanal cheese and take advantage of the Weekender. It's a ready-to-go box that has artisan cheeses, cured meat. This is what I brought for Thanksgiving. Dinner. You can be stressful. Never be stressful. Thanksgiving should never be stressful. So make artisanal premium cheese at Hemstad's a must stop. It's a must stop. Located at 900 Oswego Street in Utica. They're open 7 days a week. Try their amazing breads to bring for Thanksgiving, which are delicious, and of course those half moons, perfect for Thanksgiving. It's Hemstad's and artisanal cheese, 900 Oswego Street in Utica.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, so you want to pipe in on anything? Earlier this morning, Associated Press, I don't know if the count currently, they're saying one more House seat and the Republicans will gain control of the House. I don't know if that includes the Brandon Williams race, but AP this morning has declared Brandon Williams the winner. And I think prior to that, of course, on election night, he gave an acceptance speech, although Knoll has not conceded. And I believe Fox News and the New York Times have called him the winner. But now AP has come out.
Yes.
And that's pretty big. I want to pipe in on any of this, 315-736-0186. Earlier this morning, we had Dr. Kent Hall on, and I asked about, we had gotten a bit of a tip that there was valet parking being organized last week over at the new hospital site in downtown Utica. So the question was, what's going on? It's got to be something big. They're actually doing valet parking on Thursday. And we asked Dr. Hall, he wasn't sure, but he just got back to me and said the valet was for a donor breakfast event that happened last week. Nothing planned for anything upcoming. But there was valet parking over there. So our source was accurate, and there you have it. You know, we try not to let anything slip by.
Except for the stuff that slips by.
Except for work-related things that pay gets docked and everything. This is Mike, a couple things. Here's an interesting fun fact. In spite of the United States pulling out of the Paris Accord because we did heavy switch over from oil to natural gas, our emissions far, far surpassed what the target goal was for the Paris Accord. At this point, any Republican that aligns themselves with Trump will gain 2 voters and lose 8. That does not equal good math.
Correct.
Interesting. If you believe Trump is coming out to announce, the party needs to get together to help vote in Georgia. You've been taking some of Holyfield's edibles. Oh, okay. So if you think Trump is going to come out and not announce, and then I'm eating edibles. And apparently hallucinating right as we speak.
So Darlene in Sequoia says, saw Ryan Nobles on NBC World News last night. I saw him as well. And Moonbed in Rome sent me some photos of the Santa Workshop on Canterbury Hill Road in Rome that I talked about earlier this morning.
That's a cool place, yeah.
And it's so well done. It is very, very well done. I wouldn't want to spend all that time doing it. And to be honest with you, the setup's not bad, right? Because you're kind of in the mood. There's an anticipation. You're looking forward. What's the season going to bring? Spending time with friends and family, all the good stuff, right? And then you get into like early January.
Yeah. By the time January 3rd hits, ugh.
Right. And you've got to repack and rewrap and rebox everything. It's usually not a fun breakdown.
And then you realize the next holiday is like beyond President's Day is Valentine's Day, which adds even more stress. It's the long days of winter by the time the holidays are
and to be honest with you, for me, days minimum, 60 days of like Christine used
for the
to
most
talk
part
about
hard
this.
winter. You're gonna get, and you may have some bright spots in between.
Yeah, sure. There's a January thaw and there'll be an early March thaw. But Christine used to talk about this. She goes, growing up in Florida and in the South, I never realized that you come up here. February is completely gray. You might see the sun. Of course, you'll see the sun a little bit. But, like, generally speaking, 95% of the time, it's just a gray month. You don't see anything.
There are people that look at the sun and they're like, wow, I got to get out there in the snow. But for the rest of us, we're waiting for March, April, May for the snow to go away and have a nice sunny day without snow. I mentioned Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, teaming up to sell what they're calling edibles, Holy Ear cannabis-infused edibles. Holy Ear. Boy, they are really trying to make some dough. Here is the audio I was going to play.
What is this? I got you your ear. No, it's not. This ain't my ear. Yes, it is. Cherry pie punch filling. My ears don't taste like cherry pie. Yes, they do. Man, they don't. Yes, they do. Why, I ate your ear, I should know. Yeah, you're right.
Wow. There you go.
I like that one line in there where he says it would taste like cherry cherry pie or something. He said.
Yes, and then Holyfield, my ears don't taste like that, and Tyson's like, yeah, they do. I should.
I ate them.
I should know.
That's just so bizarre. I have a feeling in the brainstorming meeting, Mike Tyson came up with this idea, and everyone was too afraid to tell him it was a stupid name.
I can't believe the story about Christina Applegate having multiple sclerosis.
Oh, I guess I didn't.
She's come out publicly. Made her first public appearance yesterday since being diagnosed. She was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They also surprised her with it being Christina Applegate Day in Hollywood. Here's the beginning of her speech.
Being a little girl, waiting in line to see the first Star Wars on this very street, at that very theater, and looking at these things going, who are these people? What did they do? Did they do something right? Did they do something wrong? Whatever it is, I want one. I effing want one, and I was 5 years old.
She feels the deer were attracted to the reindeer decorations
upstairs in your house and can't find its way out. He was just trying to find a way out. This is Dasher and Prancer.
Today is National Clean Out Your Fridge Day. Really should be. I find that Clean Out Your Fridge Day should be like every day you go shopping. So it'd be every week or every 2 weeks, however you do your grocery shopping, because you got to fit everything in, right?
Yeah. I'm a big recycler. Today's also National Recycle Day or something
Today
like
is
that.
National Recycling Day.
Do you have garbage and recycling on the same night?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't.
And we have, really? It's on different nights.
Monday. Last night was garbage. Tonight's recycling.
So that's got to be a lot of garbage traffic on your street.
Yeah, I think it's the local DP. No, it's not a contractor. It's a local DPW crew, right, in New York Mills, and I think it's the same group of guys. One day they do garbage, one day they do green waste, one day they do recyclables, one day they do bulk. I don't know. The other days they're probably plowing or mowing. I don't know.
Ours is on the same day, and they use the same truck. So the recyclables go in one area of the truck, and then the garbage goes in the other.
Yeah, that's what they're telling you anyway.
I believe that's true. Today is National Drummer Day.
Bum.
Well, like drummer.
How many days? Can we get a drum roll as Bill reads the list of how many days there are? It's National Clean Out Your Fridge Day, National Recycling Day, National Drummer Day. I'll let you take it away.
Today is also National Day. The day set aside to have more national days than any other day in the year. We call it National Day.
I'll celebrate with a nap today.
It's National Drummer Day, so I thought what I would do is play you a little audio, see if you can recognize the songs from these famous drummers.
November 15th is National Drummer Day. So let's get ready for Thanksgiving turkey.
Andrew would be good
with
at this
some
contest.
drumsticks.
You want to know the answer? By the way, my cousin, Jimmy Catalina, was an awesome drummer when I was growing up as a kid. He's still a great drummer, and is from the Valley. One of the great drummers out there. I just thought I'd do a little shout out there. But I want to play these again, and I'll tell you which one. Maybe you can pick them out, but I'll play them and I'll tell you the answers. Steve Miller Band. Here we go.
November 15th
Led
is
Zeppelin.
National Drummer Day. So let's
Rolling
get ready
Stones
for
right there.
turkey.
ELO.
With some
Don't let me down.
drumsticks.
Don't bring me down.
Yeah.
Phil Collins. Rush. The Who. Beatles. Foo Fighters. And Jimi Hendrix. I was a little behind there in the end, but
Andrew had Phil Collins, Johnny, and Jimmy. Unless that was a correction, but That was on the first time through. He said he heard them. Also, we just got a message this morning, speaking of what national day it is. It's National Knock a Traffic Light to the Ground Day.
Where'd that happen?
We're told a garbage truck struck a traffic light on Genesee Street, knocking it to the ground about 6:15 this morning, right by the Firestone building.
I have something incredibly brilliant I'm going to end with here today, and then we'll leave you, and we'll be back tomorrow. Davey, however, has something even more important.
Just got a call in, and I'm double-checking on this, that Jim Bohannon, who has a show on our airways,
well, he just
passed
retired.
away on Saturday at the age of 78 in a hospice facility in California.
Wow. He died at 78. He just got off the
retired
air 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really? And that quickly in a hospice facility? Wow.
Yeah, I believe he was ill. You could hear it in his voice. In addition to his age, he sounded like he was fighting something. Wow, yeah, Jim Bohannon died at 78 years old.
Legendary radio broadcaster. Yep. And then Andrew said Jimi Hendrix is what he was trying to say.
Yes.
Good stuff. Good ear there, Andrew. If Andrew were here today, he would be air drumming around the building on TV. We'd be watching him, and he'd be he'd switch into his I don't know, Okay, here we go. This is an amazing story. A 14-year-old from California has been named the winner of this year's 3M Young Scientist Challenge. And, for every person that says, kids today, they're terrible today. Kids are awful today.
They are.
I truly believe we'll be surpassed by their brilliance. They have so much more opportunity than we have ever had in the world to learn and to learn early. It is going to be incredible, I think, this generation. Have hope. It's not as bad as you think. This 14-year-old in California was just named the winner of this year's 3M Young Scientist Challenge. You know what he invented? He invented headphones that diagnose and cure mid-ear infections, ear infections.
Really?
Headphones. Instead of drops, instead of antibiotics, which make your teeth turn yellow and cause other problems, headphones. It could help prevent up to 60% of hearing loss in children, because those who have really a problem with continuous ear infections oftentimes have hearing problems as they grow up through into their teen years.
I frequently get the mid-ear infection fluid behind my ear.
Could prevent up to 60% of hearing loss in children. Here's Leanne Fan talking about how her award-winning invention works. 14 years old.
My project is Finson headphones, detecting and treating mid-ear infections using machine learning and phototherapy. Every year, over 10% of the world's population experiences a mid-ear infection. Furthermore, not everyone has access to a doctor, which makes it difficult to diagnose and treat a mid-ear infection. My solution to this mid-ear infection problem is to create a low-cost device that can both detect and treat a mid-ear infection. And to make this device easy for children to wear, I'm incorporating both the machine learning software and the Blue Light ID into headphones. This way you can listen to music while treating your ear infection.
Wow. Amazing, right? Now, my wife would say, of course, it's a girl. While the boys are playing video games, she's inventing things.
I would agree with your wife. I would also say this, typical, what gen are we on right now? What generation is this?
I don't even know what this one's
Who
called.
knows what it is?
Yeah.
But anyway, I could totally see her going, you know what? I can come up with this and have a medical cure, but I'd like to play some music in the background as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. Pretty cool. Back here tomorrow. Enjoy your day.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Republicans are one win away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. If they take one of the 13 still undecided House races, they'll have the majority. House Republicans hold leadership elections today, with Kevin McCarthy hoping to be the next speaker. In Arizona, Democrat Katie Hobbs has won, beating Carrie Lake in a close governor's race.
The Fox News decision desk predicts the race may yet go to a recount under Arizona law. Lake tweeted her frustration and disappointment last night, writing, quote, "Arizonans know BS when they see it."
Fox's Jillian Turner. Lake was one of the Republicans who questioned questioned the 2020 election results backed by former President Trump. Tonight, he is expected to announce another run for the White House in 2024. His ex-vice president might run against him. Mike Pence tells Fox's Hannity.
Frankly, when the president returned to some of the rhetoric about me and others who had taken a stand for the Constitution, I thought it was best that we just go our separate ways.
Pence has a new book out today detailing more about that infamous day of the Capitol riot last year when he refused to block Joe Biden's election certification like Trump wanted. Ukraine is a big issue at the summit of G20 nations. President Volodymyr Zelensky to deliver.
Russia must withdraw. Russia must withdraw all its troops and armed formations from the territory of Ukraine. Ukraine's control over all sections of our state border with Russia must be restored.
Leaders are considering a declaration to deplore Russia's aggression, though not all members agree. Also at the summit, President Biden included the U.S. among countries pledging $20 billion to help host country Indonesia fight climate change. And then
he did call out sick to the leaders' dinner this evening. We are told he does not have COVID. We know that they sent Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, in his stead.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the summit. We just got another report showing inflation moderating. Wholesale prices rose just 0.2% last month. Year over year, it's an 8% increase in the producer price index, and that's sending stock futures surging on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Democrats say that high inflation would go away after the Fed's rate hikes, but month after month, the numbers prove nothing has changed. In fact, food and housing prices are still going higher. Meanwhile, Biden is still finding ways to print more dollars. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to take action to protect your savings from inflation. How? By diversifying your current retirement funds into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, simply text the word PROTECT to 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This 20-page guide will answer all your questions about using gold in your retirement account. This is the best way to stop your purchasing power from being stolen by Democrats like Joe Biden. So text PROTECT to the number 989898. That's PROTECT to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold.